What's good, guys? Welcome back to another episode of He Said, She Said. We have two wonderful guests on the show. Go ahead, name and body count.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Lily, too.
Okay. So my name is Lily Larimar. I've been on this before.
You have.
So welcome back me. And body count is unknown. Okay.
I am Morgan Monet. I have been on this podcast before.
Welcome back.
And my body count is none of your goddamn business.
Hell yeah.
You can ask my husband. Oh, wait. He doesn't know it either. It's not his business either.
Irrelevant.
That's funny. So let's jump right into a trending video. So there was a trending video on TikTok where a guy said men should not be having sex unless they can provide for a woman 100%. What are your thoughts on that viral video?
Does he have a good dick?
You see, since I'm a male, I have no idea. You can shoot him a DM and ask, but I don't know.
I think that's the question right there. That's more relevant.
Okay, Faith. Basically, now let's say he does not have good dick.
Nah.
Okay, but if he does, you'll hit him up?
Yeah.
He's older, though. He's like probably 40, 50s.
Okay.
All right.
He can still supply? Okay.
Okay, fair enough. How about yourself?
So, wait. He should not be having sex with women
Unless
He
men
needs
should.
to provide
No,
everything.
I don't agree. Because, what if he just wants to fuck? Or
What if she just wants to fuck?
No.
Yeah,
I don't agree.
Yeah, so I saw the comment section, and of course, girls were saying, yes, real king right here. But it's I almost want to ask those ladies in the comment section, okay, if the man has to be 100% financially stable, do you have to be ready to be a mother? Because some girls don't want to be mothers and having sex.
Very true.
Same.
Yeah. Do you want to be a mother?
No.
Anytime soon?
I don't think so.
No kids?
No, I have pets.
So is that those are your children?
Yeah.
So are you definitely team fuck them kids?
Yeah.
Forever, you don't?
Maybe not forever, but
Okay.
for now, yes.
Okay. Gotcha. Now, what age do you think you would want to settle down and have a family, white picket fence?
I think I'll start thinking about it again when I'm 30.
30?
Yeah.
And how old are you now?
25.
So in 5 years, you'll start thinking
Maybe I'll
about
think
it.
about it, but right now, no. Hard no.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, motherhood coming for you soon?
I hope so.
Okay.
My husband says he wants to wait.
Okay.
But I am Southern, so I'm we are very behind because I'm 26. I'm let's get it going. And he's girl. But we're thinking 4. And
Wow.
we want all boys.
All.
Really?
Now, one little mini Morgan.
If
Can
I
you
ever had a kid,
imagine-
I would want a girl.
Fuck no.
Really?
So let me explain.
Yeah, let break it down.
Let me explain. Okay, I am my mother's karma, and I am a lot. Okay, can you imagine a little version of me?
You don't want
He
that?
would be a great girl dad, and I think secretly he wants me to have a girl, but we plan on doing IVF because if I don't pop out a boy first in that Middle Eastern family, I am done for.
Okay.
So for sure we'll be a boy first, and then I've just always wanted boys. I feel like it's easier.
What struggle do you think there is having girls?
Hormones, periods, pregnancies, boys. It's easy. My mom with my brother was super simple. She's just don't stick your dick in crazy. And then for me, she was don't get pregnant.
Don't.
Use da da da, and boys are trash and whatever. Honestly, I kind of hope my sons are fuck boys because I
New
was
one. That's a new one.
I was a fuck girl for a little
Okay.
while, and they better have game and they better pull.
Okay. So it's almost if he's 18 and still a virgin, it's all right, let's have a sit down.
I'm
It'd be
let's
that new
work
movie
on this.
where the parents hire, with Jennifer
Lawrence?
Lawrence?
I haven't seen it, but I saw the
Yeah.
trainer. It looks
It would
really
be
good.
like that.
So for me, I definitely do want a girl. And honestly, I'm just going to go out there and say it. I want to see if I can keep her off of the stripper pole. I see if I can pull it off.
You're really worried about
Wait,
strippers?
really?
I don't want to be a stripper, no.
I'd be more worried
It's an
about
art
sugar.
form.
Hold on. So you're
I
saying
would rather have a stripper daughter
Okay.
than I think a
sugar baby daughter?
sugar baby daughter.
Really? Why is that?
Well, so I have friends
Okay.
that sugar
Okay.
and also do the more adult version of sugaring.
Okay. Gotcha.
And I will say that the lifestyle, the money is fantastic, but the mental toll that it takes on them is more than I think anyone knows, because it's a job.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily like a lifestyle. There are people I know that do it and it is a complete lifestyle, but they're also older. They've been doing it longer. They've been able to go to therapy and structure the way that they do it and think about it. And I will say it's really hard on some of my friends sometimes when they come home and they're like, I know this is my job, but like, damn, like I'm an object. And
Okay.
I don't think I hate watching them go through that, even though they know that that's what they signed up for and they
True.
know what they're doing.
True.
That doesn't make it easy.
Got you. So for me, don't you think it's mentally taxing on both strippers and sugar babies?
I feel like strippers have more fun.
You know what? I will say it's kind of like their world. Like they when they go up on the stage, they choose the song. Like they kind of get to kind of dictate it a bit more. But
Yeah.
if a fat ugly man goes, dance me for $50, they still
They
have to
have
do
to.
it.
Yeah.
You know?
I would say it's still like it's not easy.
It's not. Yeah.
It's not easy, but I feel like it's a little bit easier because they're not actually having to have sex with these people.
I feel like it's easier, not like easier, but just it's easier to think of the mindset of a stripper as a performance.
Yeah.
Okay.
And an
You know
art.
what I
I like
mean?
that you said it was an art because
Yeah.
it is, because it's
Yeah.
not. I've tried to do those little
I
pole
can't
classes.
do that.
Oh my god.
god, it's so hard. Like,
It's really
I
hard.
cannot be a stripper.
So for me as a father, I would be upset either way, but I much rather I walk into my daughter at a nice restaurant at Masters with a 50-year-old man than walk into a strip club and she's naked on a pole.
So you don't think strippers can go to Mastros?
They can. I'm just saying is like, which scenario would I much rather be more sick in? Her naked on a pole or her in Masters with like some 50-year-old, and she's a sugar
Okay,
baby.
so let's debate this.
Let's do
really
it.
quick,
Let's do it, yeah.
Because you're starting to get me a little.
go.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So, you wouldn't want your daughter to make? Do you know how much money strippers make? First of all,
Some make a
Yeah.
lot. Some don't, but it
some
varies.
don't, but most of them make a shitload of money, and
Mhm.
they don't have to put it on their taxes if they don't want to,
It's
and
true.
they work very hard for that money. And do you think it's just wrong that she's using her body?
I would like her to use other things other than her body. Yes, I would.
Oh, okay. So
Prefer.
What
when
if she's
you,
interested in using her body?
but also let me continue really quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
But what about guys when they use their body to get a nut because they're horny? What's the difference?
So casual sex between two consenting adults is much better than a transaction because transaction turns into
So
prostitution.
stripping is a transaction?
Stripping is not, no. But yeah,
Oh,
you
okay.
mentioned like a
How
man
is it
having
not
sex.
a transaction?
Well, I think
You're enjoying her on the stage.
Well,
You're
I
throwing
wouldn't want to
ones.
use it as a transaction
But, like,
because more sugar baby is a transaction because
um,
you're paying for sex.
But you're still like paying for a service of like being at a strip club and having fun.
Yeah, but
So
I
no.
wouldn't really want to degrade a stripper.
But I don't
calling
think
it, like, a
that's
transaction.
degrading. I mean, technically, like I am in porn, and I could consider that a transaction. Like I'm there to do a scene, and at the end of the scene, I get paid.
it's true.
So like,
Yeah, so I think what you said is like a man using his body to get a nut. Is that what you said?
Yeah, because men do the same thing, just differently. And so I find it interesting when men are like, oh my God, I wouldn't date an OnlyFans girl. Oh my God, I couldn't date a girl in porn. Oh, like, I don't want my daughter to do this. But it's like, why? What's wrong with it?
Got you. So I think what's wrong
Yeah.
with stripping is that if say she's my girlfriend, that's the context, my girlfriend. So my girlfriend and at a porn inside porn on the pole, she is giving another man is able to touch her, caress her, and I don't want another man's snobby hands on my woman. I think most men have protective jealousy over their wife. They don't want intimate things done to her, only to him. I guess that's my rebuttal to that.
Can't relate. My husband's super supportive of everything I do.
Yeah, true. Yeah, your lifestyle is definitely, I think, different than
But
most.
and I think we talked about this last
We did.
time. It's not real. Like when you do scenes and you're doing a scene with another person, are you like, oh my God, I'm falling in love. I'm gonna marry this person. I love
no,
this.
never thought about like super deep love or like gonna
Yeah.
marry
Mm-hmm.
them type of thing. Like I love a lot of them. I love
Ability.
a lot of them as like people. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I wouldn't picture anything further.
Yeah.
Than, like
And I feel like a lot of men, they're like, oh my gosh, she's filming today. Like, is she into him? Is she going to want to do more with him? And I feel like most of the adult film stars that I know, they're like, no, it's just work. Like we respect
Yeah.
each other, but
Yeah.
like I don't want to.
Like I love
not
them
gonna
as a
go
person.
yeah.
I think they're amazing people. Like a lot of my co-stars. But then would I want to get married and like actually be a thing? No.
yeah,
Got you. So I think my response to that is, I'll give you another scenario. Same thing. Let's say my girl was going to be in a movie and there was a legit sex scene. Like I'm talking, he's inside of her for real. It's not like it's fake. Like
do
for
they
real.
have those?
They don't. But I'm making this. Scenario.
Okay.
I'm making a scenario up. Even if it's that scene is fake,
In
it's for a
porn, they
movie.
do.
It's for a movie on a big screen. It's for a movie. It's not
Yeah.
real, right? But still, another man is still inside of her. Therefore, I'm gonna say, babe, I don't want you doing that. So it's like I still have protective jealousy with if it's real or fake. It's the act is still happening of sex. It's in my opinion.
I mean, your opinions are valid. We don't necessarily have to agree.
Sure.
I think, if I'm going to be honest,
Go ahead.
you're a tad close-minded. Just a tad to the whole situation. But I'm only saying that because my husband is so open-minded, I cannot relate to your opinion. Like my husband and I
Yeah.
shoot scenes together for our OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm a bottle girl and I also bartend, and like he knows that I have to sell an illusion to make ginormous tips, but he doesn't care. And so with you saying like you do care, I just like don't understand it at all.
Absolutely. Would you say that if you were to go to like, in front of, all of the United States, however many people are here, and say, this is my mindset, you think most of the world would agree with that, or most of the country would agree?
I think it depends on what part of the country.
So I would say like,
I would say out here, I feel like, yeah, more people would relate. Where I'm from, oh no.
and so why do you think they wouldn't like it or wouldn't agree with it?
Where I'm from, it's just very old school. Like the fact that I wear crop tops is like a big problem for a lot of the men and women out there. Like when they look at me, it's like, ugh, disgust.
Mm-hmm.
But the South is also like 100 years behind what LA is. So it's different.
Do you think, I agree we should be progressive in some areas, but do you recommend your lifestyle to everybody or just certain niche?
No, I can handle my lifestyle and I can handle everything that comes with it.
Okay.
Because like my husband and I have dealt with a lot with fans and stalkers and, all people making rude comments.
True.
But like we are a team and we communicate, and so we can handle it. And I've been in this industry for so long and been dealing with so many like haters and crazy fans that I'm numb to it. So I'm kind of an outlier. I think you probably like.
Yeah,
when
no,
you're in
I
it for
agree.
a
I would
while-
never recommend this type of lifestyle in
No.
the industry to anyone unless they were absolutely sure and had thought about it and knew that they could handle it and that was something they were passionate and wanted to do.
So you guys are both saying that you wouldn't recommend it.
Oh
It-
no!
No.
absolutely.
So
People ask me
To
all the
some
time.
random person, I wouldn't be like, oh, you should be a stripper, or you should join porn, or you should make an OnlyFans. Like, I would want you to actually think about it
I
before
feel
you
like
do.
a lot of people, I don't know about you, I'm sure you get some, a lot of girls reach out to me for like advice, and I always tell them, don't do it.
Yeah,
Because if I know them at all, I'm like, girl, I know you can't handle it.
yeah.
And it's a lot of work. And if I know you're not going to
Yeah.
put in the work,
Some of my friends who aren't in the industry at all, they'll be like, should I make an OnlyFans? Like, it seems like you're doing well. Like, should
But-
I do it? And then I'm like, no.
She-
Because just your mindset right there, thinking that it's going to be easy and that you're going to do well right off the bat, I don't think you should do it.
So the fact that you guys don't recommend it, does that make it inherently wrong?
No.
no, my not recommending it to girls is because I don't think they're going to work hard enough to see success.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will say
and
a
it
lot
can be
of
taxing and it can take you away from other opportunities.
and girls are
for
lazy.
sure.
I feel like
Yeah.
you've seen it too. There are a lot of girls that have a lot of
Yeah.
potential, but they don't have the hustle and the
They
drive
think
to get
it'll
there.
be easy.
Yeah, it's not easy at all.
Okay, so you guys don't recommend it. It's more so you don't think they're cut out for the work ethic, the mental it takes to get to the top.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you got to go, like, when I started my OnlyFans, like, I went through a lot of, like, I wasn't making, like, $1,000 for, like, the first, like, 2-3 months because, like, you have to build it. It's a lot of
Yeah.
promotions, Reddit,
My
Twitter.
first month on OnlyFans, I made $70 in a month. But I hadn't started porn and I hadn't like done promotion really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just started it. I did some webcamming a few times a month, honestly. Like,
Mhm.
not that much even. I like literally started an OnlyFans and I thought it would be easy. And did I make rent that month? No.
Fair enough. Got you. Now, do you think OnlyFans is one of the best ways to make money in 2023 as a woman?
No.
The best? No.
So, okay. So if a girl would come to you, hey, I'm in a big city, like I'm in Miami, I'm in New York, it's expensive, and I can get a job at like a marketing agency for like $40K, but how can I supplement more income and make an extra, $2, $3K a month, right? And you guys were saying you would not recommend she gets into it unless she really wants to.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know of this one. I've been on it off and on for a few years. I just recently got off because I just don't have the time for it anymore.
Mhm.
And I've really just like cut back on everything. Sext Panther,
Yeah.
if you know of it.
I do.
heard that.
I have a few clients on there that I still talk to. But it's you can text for money, you can video chat for money, you can send video
And they
messages.
have to do for each message too,
Each
not like
message.
OnlyFans where they can like you have to filter through each person. Literally, each person is paying to even come into your inbox.
Yeah.
Wow. Men are
You
Just send it down
respond for
bad.
free.
okay.
And then like I think it's like if they send me a video, it's like they pay $10, and then I respond with a video, it's like 20. So like if I have like a 30-minute like texting session with someone, like you can make a lot of money. Also phone calls and video chats. So when
Yeah.
webcamming started to die, I did video chats, and you can send a minimum. So like I think my minimum was like $5, 5 minutes, and then it was like I forget how much I charged like per minute, and then if they ended early, I still got all the money.
Nice. Okay.
So Sex Panther, if you have the time, I don't have the time anymore, but it is really easy, good cash. Like I just
Got you. Now, if you guys had daughters, I know you want all 4 and you want no kids at the moment. If you had daughters for a second, would you be upset if they were to get into what you guys are into?
no, honestly,
Gotcha.
if she was cut out for it, I would give her every piece of advice and tool that I could.
Got you.
Because my mom subscribes to my OnlyFans.
Oh, that's
She
interesting.
has
okay.
an account.
Okay.
No, she's not buying anything, but she knows how I've talked to her enough about, engagement, liking, commenting, whatever. I've gotten her to stop commenting because I don't need, but she, every single Instagram post, story, she's liking it, she's reacting to it, and that's like, as a mom, like she feels like that's her form of like public support.
Okay.
And so for my OnlyFans, she goes through and she likes every single one of my posts because the liking of OnlyFans posts helps your numbers. And she's like, that's what I can do and really show my support.
So cute.
Now,
Yeah, she was a hater at first, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
so that was I was gonna get into. It's like, so how did you convert her from a hater to a legit fan?
Okay. So what happened was when I first started getting into modeling, I shot for this, like literally it was this local photographer back home, and he worked with this bikini company. And so
Okay.
he's like, do you want to, it was really smart of him. He shot me for the bikini company for free, but I got to keep the bikinis, which he was
And
going to
the
have.
photos.
Yeah, I got the photos too. But like
Okay.
now I know, I didn't have a
That's
right to
like-
charge back then. But anyways, his wife and him did weddings, and she was a boudoir photographer, which
That
is like,
sounds so familiar.
well, it's
boudoir.
it was
Like
like the nice way to say
lingerie, but
lingerie.
like-
Okay.
Back then, it was a little bit classier.
Okay.
And she was like, do you want to shoot? You're stunning. And it was a female. So I was like, sure. And a boyfriend at the time. I was like, oh, we're coming up on 1 year. Why not?
Okay.
And then I ended up going topless for it and was shooting some beautiful like implied nudes. And then I shot some nudes with her because she was so like amazing.
Okay.
And I posted on Facebook and Instagram back in the day one of my implied nudes.
Okay.
And no one really knew that I did it. I didn't warn my mom. I didn't warn my family. I just posted it and it went nuts. That was the launch of my career. I woke up to 15,000 new followers and all this stuff. And my mom was
Wow.
pissed. She was like,
Oh, I
"You're."
bet.
She was like, because I posted on Facebook too, God forbid. And she was just like, "How dare you? This is so embarrassing." Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until someone talked shit about me to her face that she was like, oh, hell no, in her little country accent. She was like, that's my daughter. That's her body. Like, I'm so proud of her.
Oh, okay.
Because she got to hear what everyone had been saying. And I'm like, man, all these people are saying these things, but like, I'm really proud of it. Like, I think it's super dope. Like, it's my body. I can do what I want with it. You're not actually seeing anything. And then after that, my number one supporter ever since.
Aw,
Wow. That's interesting
cute.
because I've seen so many stories like that, but they went bad. You
Yeah.
know, like the mom like really went off, made her feel really like shit, honestly.
I
But
think it's jealousy because let me tell you what, I don't post as much as I should because I've just taken a housewife and I took a break from social media. But when I was posting all the time, my mom was just like, everyone was always commenting, being like, your daughter is stunning. Like, she's so beautiful. She looks just like you. And my mom was like, yeah, that's my girl.
So when you said jealousy, what would you think that she was being more so? Because I think with small towns especially, your kids kind of represent you. So by you doing that, they may point a finger at her. Oh, how'd you raise her? You think she felt like
Yes, at first that definitely was what it was, but
Yeah.
I think I started modeling and getting into all of this
Yeah.
as like kind of like society was changing and becoming more open. And I feel like my mom has a really good group of friends that changed with her. And then anyone that wasn't supportive, I have no problem with the block button. Like, I love it.
love it, Bob.
I
Okay.
love
That's funny.
Yeah, you should see my block list on all my
I have a
social
long
media.
block
I have
list.
long
Someone
block
will
list.
say something, and I'm just like,
Yeah. And so I feel like also like she was either like, and my mom knows me and she's like, she's going to do what she wants to do. So either I can get supportive or she's not going to talk to me. Like,
Fair.
and that's what it came down to.
Yeah.
And I think, we had I'm a really big communicator. And so I think we had a lot of conversations about it. And we've talked about the good, the bad, and just like a lot of the opportunities. And like for a while there, my sister wanted to become like a photographer or maybe do like, I always mispronounce it, but like cinematography.
Yeah, you said it right.
Okay. And she was really interested in that for a while. And then
Mhm.
my cousin was interested in doing makeup. And so me like knowing all the people in the industry, I was able to make some connections. And my mom was like, oh, this is dope. Like, yeah, they shoot nudes, but like they can also help this like 15-year-old girl with a dream and do like nature. And I think she like didn't realize like how dope and artistic and creative people were. And now she gets it and she uses me to her full extent.
Got you. So we talked about mom, and both you guys want you to weigh on this. I think dads too, because I hear the whole thing like, oh, bro, keep her off the pole, like, blah, blah, blah. How did dads feel when they found out about the career paths you guys went down?
I don't have one of those.
Oh, so he was never in the picture at all.
It's a little bit more complicated than that.
Okay. How about yourself, Dad?
both my parents were like upset at first.
Okay.
They were super upset, and they like kind of what you were saying about like, oh, where did I go wrong with like raising and shit.
Exactly, yeah.
And then it wasn't until I like talked to them and saw them again, because I kind of just left Pennsylvania, didn't say shit,
Oh, you didn't tell them?
moved to California.
You didn't tell them?
It wasn't until my first video started popping off, and then I was like, yeah, I should probably tell them before they find out from someone else.
Wait, so they didn't
And
know you moved?
so- No.
I was going to say, like, you just got up and left?
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, I already
Well,
wasn't
how
living
long-
there.
How long
You know
did it
what I
take for them
mean?
to notice?
I mean, I already wasn't living there.
Oh, so
You know what I mean? Like, I
was
moved
like,
out
my
at,
mom would've
like,
freaked
Yeah.
out.
18 or whatever.
Oh,
Wow.
okay. Okay.
Yeah. As soon as I was 18, I was like, okay, I'm an adult. See
Wow.
ya. But like, I don't know.
So how's that phone call like? So you called in probably like heart just racing, like, so how's it going? It's going good, Mom. Just got something to tell you.
No, so I called my mom and I was like, yeah, I definitely need to tell you something. And she was like, what? She's like, I don't even remember exactly the words, but I ended up starting crying.
Oh, I bet all the pressure was a lot.
It was a lot of pressure. I was like, I just don't want you to not talk to me again, but like, this is what I'm actually doing. And that's why I haven't been home in so long. And I've been doing it because before that I was doing webcamming and they didn't know about that either. And they
I
kind of
webcam.
knew something was up. I feel like they're pretty smart. You know what I
Gotcha.
mean? They're like,
And when you broke the news, like, what was their reaction?
well, I told my mom first, and it's kind of funny because I was like, yeah, can you like wait a second and I'll tell dad myself.
Oh, wow.
But like, you know what I mean? Because he was at work, and I was like, I'll tell him myself. Can you just wait? And she was like, yeah, I got you. She hangs up the phone, calls him, and she's like, guess what your daughter's doing? And I'm like, you literally said you were gonna wait and let me tell him, and you're just like going and telling him. I'm like, whatever. At least he made it easier for me.
So did your dad call you?
No, he literally, well, eventually we talked, but he was really upset. And then both my parents thought I was on super heavy drugs.
Don't
They
worry,
were
she's just
like-
on drugs. We'll get her out of here.
They were like, eventually we're trying to have this intervention. And they were
Intervention,
like,
yep,
what
intervention.
type of drugs are you on? And I was like, no. I'm still the same. And then it
Yeah.
wasn't until I saw them face to face again and they saw that
many
I
years
was
later?
still the same person. It was probably like only a few months
Oh,
later.
a few months.
Like
Okay, cool.
I went back and saw them, yeah.
And when you went in their house and sat
But
down,
then I went back and saw them. They were like, "Yeah, you seem like the same person." I was like, "Yeah, because I am."
got you. So when you went back
And then they
home-
were supportive.
okay. So from the call at 18 years old, how long did it take for them to be supportive? A year?
Well, actually, I went to college first at 18, so
Okay.
I was like 20. I was 21 when I started porn, 20 when I started webcamming.
Okay. So you said it took about a year for them to be supportive, or was it like 2 months? Or
No,
not?
it took a few months. Literally, all they wanted to know was that I was happy, healthy, and that was something I actually wanted to do, not
Okay.
because, you know what I mean? Like
True.
those horror stories where it's like, oh, she was forced to do this and like she's drugged. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like why they thought that, but like they were like, oh, okay, you're actually okay, and you're like consenting, and they're like, okay, cool, you're taking care of yourself, but like,
Got you. Okay, that's good. Hey, listen, I'm glad that your parents, are on board and they still talk to you, because I know if you guys heard of Riley Reid. She
Yeah.
was a popular porn star, and she was on a podcast saying her dad just said, "I don't want to be seen in public with you. Like I don't want to be around you." Like that hurts. Like that hurt
Yeah.
me.
I feel
tough.
like that's those type of stories is part of the reason I was so scared to tell my
I bet,
parents
yeah.
and call them. And that's why I was crying. I was like, will you still talk to me? Please.
I feel you. But yeah, hey, at least you called. I know a couple girls in the porn industry who are big. Their parents still don't know. Like I think Kazumi's parents don't know. Like they meet up with her and they go
Yeah.
like, "What are you doing? Like you didn't finish school. You don't have a
Yeah.
driver's license." Meanwhile, she made $6 million last year.
Damn, yeah.
It's crazy how that goes. It's so crazy.
Literally, my hometown found out so fast. So I was like, it's a small town. And I was
I bet. They
like,
got it
oh,
around
my
quick.
parents are going to find out for
Did you
sure.
use a different name?
Yeah.
And they still found out?
Yeah.
Oh, someone was coming for you.
I think it's
Oh my
because
gosh.
That's the
I
shit
had
I
like
would do.
1,000 followers maybe in my first month of starting.
okay.
I would say half of my views were people from my hometown. For real.
Now, is it because you shot on a big platform like Blacked, or was it because something else?
No, I didn't do that right away. I shot for a scene called XCOG and Bang.com.
Okay.
I shot for Bang.com maybe my like second or third scene.
Okay.
And that's a pretty big company. So
Wow, you moved up quick.
Lit.
That's what's up. That's dope. That's dope. So moving on, we'll probably come back to the OnlyFans career stuff a bit later in the show. Another viral video popped off. Is this girl saying male friendships lack depth? Most men don't prioritize emotional connection. So do you guys think that most male friendships do lack depth? Or you don't think about male friendships too much to even like think about it?
I think it
don't know.
depends.
Yeah.
So like my husband doesn't hang out with women
Okay.
like
Makes
at
sense.
all.
Yeah.
It's just a
He's
culture.
married.
Yeah, it's a culture thing too. Because I was like, okay, like how many girlfriends do you have? He's like, I don't hang out with women. Like it's just like not a thing in my culture. I was like, oh, perfect.
Perfect.
I was like, I love it.
My bad.
And so I feel like some of his guy friends that I know, like I'm just like, you guys are fucking fucking idiots. Like what are y'all
Yeah.
doing? And then I do know like his group of friends, like there's it's like a friend / mentor, and I think he talks to him like every day for like an hour.
Wow.
Like
Good.
to and from work, and they digress their day, they talk about business, they talk about their like, if him and I are having an issue, or if him and his friend's partner are having an issue, like they kind of work it out as men, and then he comes back and he's like, is this right? I'm like, no. Let me tell you what you did wrong. Or whatever, but like I think it just depends. Like I think men are not like women, where like I'll let anyone in, to some degree, and I feel like women kind of have to have like an emotional, mental connection, because it can't just be like, oh my god, you're so pretty, you want to be friends, like you like the same sports.
Yeah, it sounds
Like it's not like that.
I think you talked about that in the video, and someone made a rebuttal to that video saying the same thing. Men can bond over this smallest thing.
Anything.
Like same sports teams, same liking of fashion. Like it's just a friendship can bond, form like that.
I never really thought of it that way.
But I don't feel like I will say men have like deep relationships.
Honestly, I have one guy friend where it's a deep, like we actually talk about things that really matter.
Right.
Most guys, it's very surface level.
Yeah, I will say that I don't think men really understand how to get deep and vulnerable with other men, but I think that's like a ego and masculinity
Oh,
thing.
for sure.
But I feel like they always have one. Like women,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like, let me tell you about my
yeah.
drama.
And just
I usually overshare, I feel like.
See, I've gotten really good over the year. I've just been burned so much in LA that honestly I am like a man now, where I don't tell people shit.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say with with girl relationships, you've seen the whole thing. Like they went to Miami as friends, came back as enemies. They went to Vegas as friends, came back as enemies.
Yeah, I'm literally going through that right now.
Okay, so there's only two reasons why I thought why is that statement like kind of true, or why is it said so much? The first thing is they get to the nightclub. Okay, you three are good, or you two are good and you two aren't. And those two girls go, all right, girls, like, I'll just see you around. They go in the nightclub and they leave their two girls. Or another thing is like the cheap friend who like they want to go out and do nice things, and the friend's like, I can't afford it. So it's like another reason why girls fall out on these vacations.
I personally feel like I'm trying not to put my own bullshit into this.
Yeah, I think it's something else.
I feel like women get attached to other women really quickly without actually taking the time to get to know them and
explain.
realizing who they are as a person, which is something I struggle with. I have let so many people into my life, including Humpty Dumpty and Dumb and Dumber, that are in my life right now. Just I can't use their names. And it's like I think now that I'm breaking away from this, I'm realizing like they were not good females or women to be around. We don't have the same ideals. They're a lot younger than I am. And now that it's like 3-5 years later, I'm like, I don't understand how we were friends for so long. Because like, XYZ and da 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 da. And I feel like that's what when I hear other girls complain about their friendships breaking, it's either over a guy or you really didn't know the person at all. This is gonna be mean, but the ugly one is always jealous of the pretty one.
Oh, duh. I think
And I don't like to say females are ugly, but there's always one that's less attractive.
of course, yeah, sure. Less attractive for the PCs out there.
You know,
completely
and
correct.
I hate to say it like
It's the
that,
truth, though.
but it's jealousy among women is, and that's something as I've gotten older,
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like because I think being married did that to me because I'm not competing with anyone anymore.
True.
Like I just don't care.
I agree.
And I feel like that is something I notice a lot. It's like, so she's really jealous of her, and that's why there's all these problems between.
I feel like a lot of times in my friendships with girls, I don't even realize that there's like jealousy or just like this
Same.
competition type of aspect. And then it's like years later and I'm like, wait, that didn't actually seem like it was the healthiest.
No, that's what I woke up to with my situation. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, like it wasn't until like 5 of my friends literally knocked me upside the head. They're like, dude, they're jealous of you. I'm like, of what? Why? Da da da.
I'm so
it down.
nice.
I'm like, I don't get it. And they're like, what do you have that they don't? And I'm like, oh, got it.
Is it the husband thing, or that's a different
It's
scenario?
a lot.
Okay. Because I
it's
do
an everything.
I do
thing.
think friends, guys and girls, can definitely keep each other single. But I'm gonna stay on the topic of the friendship. So for guys, right, like for us, it's a much more of a raw relationship in this aspect. If my friend walks out with some shoes on, like, bro, that's not it. Like, take that shit off.
People get so mad, but
Yeah.
I'm so honest.
No,
like
that's
I
me
will tell,
too.
like,
I'm like, do you have this or this? I'm like,
oh, see,
that
I'm a
would
little
look
bit
good with
meaner.
this, or
I'm
like, I don't
like,
even know.
that looks like shit. Let's change it.
And
Okay.
they go,
But I mean it out of love. I'm
Love.
not
Yeah.
saying it to be mean. I'm like,
I'm
it's
at
like,
least honest.
yeah, I'm like that.
I
is
try to
not
word
your
it
best
nice.
look.
It's-
Let's fix it. And like that, I feel like also was a big struggle I've
Oh,
had
back
with
in-
women
yeah.
when they're like,
down my shirt.
you're saying about
like with women in dating, like my friends will send me pictures of their outfits. I'm
Uh-oh.
like, you look like a whore. Can we change this? But then, like, I have to remember that they have different styles of dating than I do, and
True.
I'm like, you're trying to smash. I would never smash within the first month. You know, like it's just I have to remember. But I'm like, you look ratchet. Can we fix this? And they're like, I like it. It's cute. I'm like, all right.
Why don't you ask my
You
opinion?
do you.
And then they treat him like shit, and then they bang him and leave, and I'm like,
I told you the marketing is
I
important.
told you so.
Marketing
Yeah.
is important.
I was gonna say too with male friendships as well is, man, I think with men too, we don't. It sounds bad. We don't expect too much out of each other too. Like for example, like guys who stitched that video were like, bro, if my dog doesn't wish me a happy birthday, it's not like it's like girl. I know one girl who cut her friend off for that, like for life over a
For
birthday.
what?
Over a birthday, like she didn't show up. She said she had something to do last minute, and she cut her off for life over.
Damn.
So it's like. I think sometimes girls, they invest into each other emotionally so much. So when they
I
do
don't
something,
care
it
about my
hurts. It
birthday.
hurts.
And I think you're adding on to what you just said. And I think that's why a lot of friends don't make it when people get in relationships, because what they're doing is using their girlfriend to fill the void of a partner when that's
yeah.
not their
There.
That makes
responsibility at all.
sense.
And so I have done that to people, and I have been a victim to that with people as well. And now I understand like a really good balance.
True. And also with guys, you know, I'm not sure if girls do this too, where it's like we don't have to talk often. We can pick up once a
I
month.
don't.
I don't either.
I
All
don't
of my
at all.
best friends, we will go months without speaking.
Me too.
Because we have lives.
and then I'm like, oh, I miss you. Like out of nowhere, I'll like think of them, and then I'll be like, or like
Grab a
something will
drink
come up,
or-
and I
Yeah.
see them or whatever, and then it's just like we never left,
That's
and
good.
that's literally
But
like
I
the
feel
best
like that
friendships.
is friendship though.
Yeah, I feel
Because
like
I-
that's true
Yeah,
friendship.
and that's like I feel like we're similar.
it's not like a
in age.
reliance.
Like it's not like college and high school where you talk to them every
Every day,
single
yeah.
day. I don't
Yeah.
need to talk to my people every single day. She needs
Yeah.
something, I will get on a plane and be there. If I need something, you know, vice
Yeah.
versa.
You know, I love you. You know, if you ever need anything, just hit me up. Like,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But other than that, like, you know, I love you, and that we don't have to talk every day.
Yeah.
Got you. Now, have you guys had a situation where you went to Miami or any place where you're, you know, group of girls and you guys end up falling out when you guys got back, or not, or there you guys fell out?
I
fell out
haven't
there.
had too many girls trips, so I can't really speak on that. I feel like
I
I used to travel by myself a lot.
Oh, gotcha.
Well, I had this like crazy situation. So I knew of this girl,
Okay.
and we were in like an Instagram engagement group together.
Oh,
So
nice.
like when you post, it's like, oh, go comment, blah blah blah.
True.
Anyways, she was doing her bachelorette in the town that I was living in at the time.
Okay.
And one of her bridesmaids had dropped out. And so she had an extra spot on her bachelorette
So,
trip.
Mo,
And so
that's on
she's
it.
like, do you want to come out and hang out with us? And then you could also maybe help us plan, because she was the planner. And I was like, sure. Little odd, but let's do it. It's free. I don't care. And so I went out there, and I realized that she had about 3 bitches in that group that I could not fucking stand.
Oh, wow.
So I left the trip early, and I didn't give a fuck. But they were just not very nice women
Okay.
at all. And I literally was coming in there. I knew I was the back burner. I kind of like, I wasn't too much.
What made them not fun to
involved.
be around? They're not being friendly, or
I think that when they saw my Instagram, that's when everything.
you know what?
Just shit.
Let's talk about that. I have one friend who's a girl, and here's what happens: when she dresses and goes out, she shows out. Like, oh, it's like basically like a see-through dress with like a bralette. Like she's like that, and the girls go, "Girl, like I think you should change." Like because they're kind of intimidated by this really attractive person. They do not want to go out with her because they know all the guys will come straight to her. You know, you and maybe not them. Was that the reason why you thought, or something different?
I I think jealousy is a weird thing. And I think that a couple of the girls were just a little intimidated because like I would like get up early in the morning and like I went for like a run and she was like, why would you do that? I'm like,
Why would you run?
Why are you being healthy?
I don't wake up
Why
and
are you
look like
taking
this.
care of yourself?
You
What
think
the
that I
fuck?
don't do anything and look like this? No, honey. I do a lot to look good. I gotta keep my husband, you know?
Yeah.
I wasn't married at the time. But you know, like you being, you know, that was important to me and it
Rubbed in the wrong way.
well, it was if you how do I say this politically correct? It obviously was not a priority for her. To be healthy at
It's
all.
not.
It was not. And it's, you know, it's fine, but like it just was different. But talking about showing out, let me tell you what, I love having hot friends. And that came with
Yeah.
age because I honestly don't want to be the prettiest one in the room.
You
I
don't?
really don't.
Okay.
Because I
agree.
don't like having all the attention. Because I am ruthless to men. Like even before, like I've always said I will never meet my husband at a bar. I will never, you know, go out with someone who like tries to pick me up at a bar. It's just not my thing. It has never been because I don't have time to stalk you, look at your Instagram. Do you have a girlfriend? Yada, yada,
You
yada.
need a background check.
Right? And so like I'm just not very nice to men. They'll try to come up to me and I'm just like, no.
I think one time
And
you're
they're
on
like,
the show.
not the hand in the face. And I'm like, don't. I'm not the one.
or the two.
Or
Yeah,
the two.
That's funny, man. Yeah, because you talked about how, like, well, when I was talking about how, you know, say a guy approaching you at Whole Foods, just out in the wild, right? And you will look at
No.
them like, almost like, why are you speaking like to
It'd
me?
be like, no.
That's crazy.
No, thank you.
The next
We
thing,
talked about this on our podcast.
I think
where
so,
it was
too.
like how you approach someone.
yeah, it was tough.
But I feel like it's different I feel like I'm definitely like a little bit of an outlier there. I just don't like to be bothered. But I also have no problem going after what I want.
okay.
If I was interested in someone when I was dating, I would let them know.
Me too. I feel like I know if I'm interested or not.
I like that. That's good. Now, the next question I have for you guys is, do you think a person should self-improve in order to get the person they want, or they should just be who they are and just let the person come to them and attract?
I think you should want to self-improve, but also you should be who you are. So I'm confused.
You
So-
should self-improve for yourself. Like if for me, I was like, I want to be like super fit to get with this person.
Yeah.
Well, I need to get super fit
I
for
guess
myself.
be yourself. That would be first.
Yeah.
And how you want to improve for yourself. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
You have to make it about yourself first.
Yeah.
You can't do anything for a man and you can't do anything for a woman without like disrespecting yourself, honestly.
Yeah. If you're improving for someone else and it's not even something that you might see as improving, but it's like them telling you like, oh, you should be this way, then no.
Yeah, so how I perceive that question, I mean, you guys may not agree with this one. I think it's more geared towards men in a way, and I'll explain why. So for men, I think they have the burden of performance on them where, you know, for example, you said on a couple shows back where you want him to be, you know, in a good place financially, live in a nice area, take to a nice restaurant and do it maybe a couple times per week, right? $200-$300 dinners every couple of days, right? That takes getting up in that top 10% of a man.
I'm expensive, honey.
So
You can ask
yeah,
my husband.
yeah.
I am expensive.
So a guy has to get up there in order to, you know, be able to, you know, have a Morgan, right? So if a guy decides, you know what, I'm gonna stay at this minimum wage job, I'm a slave here, I don't feel like working too hard. I like just keep myself, you know, this is comfortable.
But
This-
there's nothing wrong with that. That is some people's life and dream. Like my perfect example, my aunt and uncle have been together for 50 years. 50,
Yay.
50. And he works, I'm not exactly sure what he does, but it's like minimum wage job and she doesn't really work anymore. And that has been their life and they love it. They love their old school simple life and that's what they want. And like that's what they have and they're content. I, however, want up here. So I think you just need to stay in your lane. Like both of them love where they are. My husband and I always want more for each other. And then I know people that are like a step below us that are like, I could not work as much as you guys do. And I'm like, that's totally fine.
but which advice do you think is best for men to like stay where they are and be stagnant, or go for strive
They
for
need
greatness?
to go where they want to be in life.
Yeah.
If you're working a minimum wage job and you're like, damn, I want,
the
to
best
live.
chick, the best
Yeah,
car.
then you need to work for it. Sorry. But if you're like working your minimum wage job and you're like, you know what, I will find a girl that loves me for me, that also is very admirable because he knows exactly what he wants.
I can get down with that. But as a guy that, has a platform on social media, I definitely want what's best. So if what's best for them
But
is,
not everyone could be a winner.
yes, you're absolutely right with that. But I like to be a bit more optimistic, where it's like, yo, man, you can have more. Now, not everyone will have it. Unfortunately, like you just mentioned, not everyone's going to be a winner. Not everyone lives in Beverly Hills. Everyone has a nice car. But I would like to at least speak it into them if they can do it.
If they want it, they're already halfway there. They just got to put in the work.
This is true. And also, not just financially. Let's just say a guy's really bad at, let's just say whenever a woman comes at him emotionally about a problem, he just shuts down and goes, oh, whatever. Like, you're always so annoying. Like, he needs to work on that. Because girls are going to come to you with issues in their relationship. So it's not just always
that goes
money.
back to the vulnerability thing.
Of course, yeah. I
And
think
like being able to open up about like more than just surface level things.
I agree. And also, the reason why I think it's a bit more, this question is a bit more aimed at men. You guys may disagree. I think for girls, as long as you're just cute, like you're 5 out of 10,
Thanks.
men will, guys out there with not a lot of options are happy just to get a wife. There's happy just to get a wife. So I think the man really, in my opinion, has to really push himself to be confident, competent.
I have
life
a
experience.
question.
Go ahead.
So, backing off of what you said, I have heard it's been like going around on TikTok, but it's like men marry the woman that's right in front of them at the time they're ready to get married.
I agree.
Is that true?
I've seen that
I agree.
too.
I agree.
Is that true?
I agree. I think that's true. At least that's how I see it.
Damn, I know he did not settle for me.
So
That's good.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So like they'll just settle
Well,
because
I
they're
feel like,
ready,
to be honest,
and then they're
most
like,
men do.
she's
Think about it.
cute.
Yeah,
Think about it. When you look at like 30 and 40-year-old men, who is the winner? Always. 90% of the time. It's the man.
Wait, what?
I always feel like if you look at like the couples that have like their like in their kids like in kindergarten or first grade, it's always the man that's more attractive. It's always the man who's
Really?
better. And I'm like,
Kind
I've
of
always
in my own
been
little
wondering.
porn bubble, I think.
Oh, well, just
I
being
don't
from,
know.
like the small
Yeah.
town and like watching and like seeing all these people grow up. I've always, or maybe it's like I had a daddy kink. But I always, but
like
even my
some
mom would
daddies.
agree. Like I feel like the man was always higher up than the woman was.
that's how it was.
Especially in the South, like the woman would just marry whoever would like take her. Especially when I was growing up, like back then,
Mhm.
and. I feel like they always ended up on top. Why they should just go for better.
Well, I'll say this, right? The reason why I said self-improvement, I think, is more dependent on men is because the guys I coach and help out, most of them don't go out on the weekends. Like, they don't go to clubs or bars.
Perfect.
They don't really have good photos of them on social media.
Amazing.
And they can't approach women. So it's like,
Yeah.
so like basically every avenue, they're not good at it.
But you know what? You keep them out of those bars and clubs. Because as a bartender and a bottle girl, I have yet to see one man that was single that was eligible for anyone. I've seen a couple like married couples come in and have fun for like birthdays or whatever. And I'm like, this is a great relationship. I have never seen a decent bachelor out and about.
So as far as bars and clubs, I guess I'll break it down. So where can a man go and actively get better at approaching women where all of them are together in a place at one time?
Grocery store.
Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am. Can you help me find this? I'm looking for this recipe I'm trying to make.
We can cook.
Go on.
See? If a guy came out to you, he's like, I'm so sorry to bother you. I'd be like, he's like, do you know what this is? And I'd be like, oh my God. My first thought would be, he's trying
Let's
to
go
cook for his
together.
girlfriend. And I'd be like, let me help this man so I can help this sis. That would be my first thought. And then he's like, I'm just trying to make this new recipe. He can even pretend if he wants to practice and it's not even on an attractive woman, he could just be like, I'm trying to make this surprise for my girlfriend. Can you please help? Every woman is going to help him. And then once he gets comfortable with that, then move on. But don't you ever approach me at a gas station. I will pepper spray you.
Yeah.
So okay, so here's the thing. Let's
I
say
will pepper spray
let's
your
say a
ass.
guy is 21, 22. When I go grocery shopping, to be honest, in Hollywood at the Ralphs, I don't see very many girls my age who are hot.
Good. Go practice on the older ladies.
Some good practice.
So you're
you should go to like Whole
If they're really
Foods
hot,
or
go
Air
practice.
One.
Oh, not Air One, but Whole Foods. Whole Foods.
You don't think there's girls there?
I like Stater Bros.
Okay.
Getting real specific.
Or what's the other one?
There's Ralph's, there's Whole Foods, there's
Pavilions?
Pavilions.
No, that one.
I like Pavilions.
Yeah.
I find Ralph's to be overrated,
I
to be
like
honest.
Trader Joe's.
I don't like Trader Joe's. And
Really?
that food is not healthy. If you are a guy trying to
It's
lose
not
weight,
healthy. They
Bro.
have vegetables.
you want to fight me? Actually,
literally have
I will bring my
vegetables.
husband on this podcast and he will school you because that man is the man, the myth, the legend when it comes to health, body, and fitness.
Are their vegetables not healthy?
There's a bunch of shit with Trader Joe's. Look at the
Really?
lawsuits. Look at the
Look at the
They have
receipts.
lawsuits.
lawsuits? Wait, fuck. Am I gonna start not liking Trader Joe's now?
It's not what it's. When it comes to your body and it comes to your health, you need to put your money where it needs to go.
Got
Even
you.
for their
So I
produce
invest
and stuff.
in organic or in grass
Don't
fed.
they have organic?
You
I'm
gotta look-
learning. Sorry.
Well, you need to look
We're
at what's
talking
organic and what's organic.
So
Wait, there's
let's-
different types of organic.
Yes,
There's
let's,
fake organic and
Let's,
like real
let's
organic.
get back to the topic.
Sorry.
No,
I'll
no
have to
worries.
talk to you later.
No worries.
I
Yeah,
got
we'll,
you.
we'll have an organic conversation
We will.
outside. So I guess
He shot up so
So-
quick back there. I was like, damn, he
Oh,
is
that's
pissed.
triggering
So the
over there.
reason-
He was very triggered.
Yeah, so I just think with guys and approaching girls their age, I think at the club or the bar, whatever, young girls congregate there, so it's easier to get your approaches off versus hoping and praying.
Why
for
are
guys.
you
Bars?
looking for a girl in the club?
I
Well-
literally, if someone approaches me at a bar, I feel like I'm trying to be there with my girls usually.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'll say this: a lot of girls go out with two hopes, not just these two hopes, but two hopes: attention from men or get a drink from a guy.
Now, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Do either of those involve taking a step further?
Go for
No.
expand. I mean step.
So
further. Yeah,
if
explain.
when I was single and I would go out, I wouldn't go to like for example, when my ex and I broke up and I was going out a little bit with my friends, they're like, you know what, let's let loose. I love to dance. Let's have a drink or two. Yeah, I don't need a man to buy a drink. I can buy it myself. But it was nice when they would offer and then I would like dip and take in whatever. And it was nice to get attention and like guys thinking I'm attractive. Sometimes it is flattering, especially if I put a lot of work into my outfit and my hair and my glam and whatever. But I would never ever like talk to them.
Talk to him like outside of the bar. Or the club?
Yeah, fuck no.
Well, here's the thing.
So like that's how, and I feel like that's how most women are. You're not gonna take the guy that's gonna come up to you because most of the time, if there is someone that's really hot in the bar, he's not gonna come up to you because girls are going up to him.
So let's address 2 points. I like that last point though, because you're kind of true. I mean, you're kind of right.
I know.
Right. So
I know.
I'm just saying with guys is when girls go out and they put on makeup and they put effort into their appearance and they go out, they almost want some type of attention. And
Not
why
me.
and why can't it be from a guy in the club? or bar?
Sometimes, to be honest with you, the older I'm getting, the more women compliments me, the more I get
Yeah.
horny. I'm sorry. Because women do not compliment other women. So if I get a compliment from a woman, it's equivalent to 10 compliments from one man.
I understand. I know women don't value.
And women don't
Compliments.
dress up for men. We dress up to look better than other women.
This is true, but
Tell me I'm wrong.
So, but why do you
I
think?
feel like I like doing my makeup. Like for me, doing my makeup and picking my outfit is like especially when I give myself time to do that, because a lot of times I'm rushing. But like I feel like I'm doing it because I'm like, this is fun, and it's like an art almost. I'm like, I'm like creating my character
I feel you.
in like a video game or
do you
something.
guys do you guys think that if it's all for women, do you think if there was like an all female club and no men were allowed in it, the girls would go?
Yes.
Yes, I'd be there.
It would be so safe. Have you ever
tomorrow.
been to a lesbian club?
I'll be there yesterday.
Well,
like,
I still think
They're
they're
all,
popping.
first of all, best music. Second of all,
I want to go.
safe.
Are there?
Chicago.
Okay, let's go to Chicago.
It's a lot. When my sister got married there, and so we went to Boys Town. I don't think it's called Girls Town, but we'll call it Girls Town. Like
Girls
yeah.
Town.
So why do you think more girls still line up outside these clubs and not the lesbian clubs then?
Because they're young and dumb. Look
All
at the
of them?
age.
Yeah.
Look at the age of these girls.
I mean,
Like, so
trying
like
to
what,
think.
21 to 25?
Do not disrespect us like that.
yeah.
You said the age of the girls.
Oh, let me. If you want to be honest,
Yeah.
19 to 22.
19 gets in the club? 21 and up.
yeah.
Have you seen the fake IDs these days?
I've
Pretty
not known.
good.
They're pretty good.
Pretty good.
And these girls look old. These girls are
Yeah.
gonna need Botox by like 26.
No, I feel like I looked the same when I was like 18
That's good.
for the
Yeah,
most
that's good.
part. Like, I don't know, I have different hair color.
I'm just saying, like, I think reason why girls go to clubs where there's guys because they're spending money and they like being in sections, like getting drinks for free.
Oh,
What do you think?
I'm trying to think. I used to go to
I know.
house
I know. There's a
parties
thought.
more.
There's a thought in your head. I want to hear it.
I mean, going to sections when I was 21 was really cool.
Okay.
It also got old really fast.
Because it's every weekend.
Also, working in bottle service has completely changed my perspective.
Oh, for sure. I think working in it definitely changed.
Yeah, and bartending, and it's just completely different for me.
Mhm.
But also, this is gonna sound so stuck up, but the caliber of men that I was dating were just not in there. They just weren't.
I always liked smoking better.
Smoking what? Let's be specific
Weed.
here. Okay, all right. Like smoking that PCP.
Like, if a dude was like, "You want to come over and smoke?" I'd
That
be
would
like,
get you.
"Okay, let's go."
So I just back to the whole thing of like the club and the bar. I just like going there because it's a place. Okay, number one, it's something to do at night. Okay, at nighttime in LA, what is there to do besides like? I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's so. Let me be honest. When I was
Yeah.
back home, I did it a lot more because I feel like everything is so like upscale
Yeah.
here and pricey.
Very
And it has
pricey.
nothing to do with price, but I love a good grungy dive bar.
That's fun.
Let's get a bucket of beers, watch a basketball game, and eat some French fries.
Like,
I love that.
tailgates.
Tailgates are fun. Tailgates are fun.
And and I would go out all the time and do that, whether I was drinking a Red Bull or a beer or, a vodka Red Bull back in my vodka Red Bull days.
Nice.
That was something to do. And there was I feel like, have you been to Barney's out here?
Isn't Barney's like a closed store? But I've never been to like the
No,
club or
it's
bar.
it's the dive bar. They have a lot of stuff. They have pool tables like that. For me, I would go out and do that with
Okay.
people because it's interactive and I can hear you.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
Clubs with
And you
loud
can
music
still
is
get
tough.
I
attention.
love like bars with games and shit.
I
Yeah.
agree. So
That
Like a
you would
pool
love a
table
good
or,
dive
like,
bar.
Yeah,
it's just for
let's
me
go.
though. Where am I going to see more attractive girls? At Hyde nightclub or Whole Foods? I'd argue that.
Whole Foods.
People always talk about hot girls in the grocery store. I may have seen one in my whole year in LA.
It's
Really?
because
Grocery
we
store.
dress down so people
You
don't
don't
talk
see
to
the hot
us.
girl in like leggings.
Rare. I just rarely see badass girls at my grocery store.
That's
Rare.
because we all Instacart.
No, true. That is fact.
Yeah, true. Like,
That's one
That's
way to
me.
meet girls. Be an Instacart driver.
Yeah, no, but I always
Talk
say,
for all day long.
leave it at my door. Please
Yeah.
don't even knock. Just
Don't-
leave it at the
Yeah,
door.
I pretend that I have a new because I have a big dog, so I just write on my thing. I'm like a brand new newborn baby. Please just don't
knock.
knock.
Please
don't
leave it at
knock.
the door.
Got you. So if you're talking to guys out there who want to get better at approaching, you said just practice on girls at a grocery store opposed to going out to a
I'm
club
a
or a bar.
big
I
advocate of
honestly
dating
don't
apps.
really know.
True, but
I
Yeah.
love me a
you're
good
right.
dating app.
But here's the only problem with dating apps. I think dating apps can take the dog out the man. Like a guy's walking and you're walking, he sees you. He's like, you know what? Hopefully she's on Hinge or Bumble. Versus, hey, I want to come speak to you. Or, hey, how's it going? Like that's
well,
better.
you know what you can do that's really subtle.
What's that?
That I've had a few people do to me where I'm like, I just walk in, they're like, hey, you look absolutely stunning today. Just wanted to let you know. And they just keep walking.
That's better in a club or a bar where you guys are in the same vicinity
Nope.
the rest of the night. Because if you walk away, when's he gonna see you
Wait.
again?
But do you know how many times I've turned around and stopped him?
Oh, she's a woman of action.
Oh, I am. If I think you are hot, I chased my husband
Really?
because he was the only man that wouldn't chase me.
My last
I was like, get your ass
ex-
back here. Let's go.
I literally, he was a Capricorn, like one of my exes.
Ugh.
And no, but I had to, he was so focused on work that I had to make all the moves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I literally had to be like, hey, can we hang out?
No, my ex is a Capricorn. He was lazy as fuck.
Really? No,
Yeah.
not mine.
But
So the best approach advice. So basically, you're not a fan of approaching. Just go online, get your profile
I
on
like
point.
approaching. I'm also the girl that if I see some dude on Instagram, I will DM him. And there are plenty of people that you can ask that I've done that to. I've then ghosted them afterwards when I got to know them. But I did approach them first.
Well, only thing though about you, Morgan, as I'm talking to you more, is I think you're definitely like the rare breed. Of,
I'm a very confident woman.
Well, that too, of course. But I think, for example, if I put 10 girls in a room, I maybe 1 or 2 go, yeah, I'll DM a guy first.
No, I will tell you what. I could name probably 7 of my friends would do the same thing.
Okay. No, I hear less from girls that they would approach a guy first, either online
Because these
or in
bitches
person.
are lazy nowadays. They expect for money and hotness to just fall into their lap.
I don't blame them. They post a photo and boom, 50 DMs just from that photo.
Yeah,
I get
but they're
it.
not interested in any of those guys. And
This is true.
secretly, I feel like, especially from what I'm seeing on TikTok and different people like podcasts and people responding, is there just seems to be a lot of miscommunication. And I think a lot of girls like, yeah, if I were single and posted a bikini pic right now, I could have dates lined up for the rest of the month.
Yeah.
You know, but are they actually people that like I would want?
Probably not.
Probably not, because they want a different type of guy, but that's the only type of attention that I feel like we're used to since COVID. And like more people need to restructure the way that they think. Like I feel like hookup culture is finally dying. You could disagree, but from what I've heard from my friends, it's like
I'm not sure.
I feel like it's like starting to be like people
I know
are
a
being
couple
like,
hoes, you know what I'm
well,
saying?
but I feel like a lot of people are being like, you know what? I actually like don't like this anymore. Like I'm kind of ready to have a girlfriend or a boyfriend. I feel like more, especially men are saying that. They're like, this whole dating thing, like it's getting kind of old.
Okay, so I think with, disagree if you'd like, with the rise of feminism, it gave women choice. Because back then, you had to be a virgin at marriage, right? Now girls have choice. I
shit.
feel like it's almost like if you were to say that to girls, like, oh, we should do hookup culture. It's like, we can do what we want with our bodies, Morgan. Like, we're independent. We're free.
Women fuck who they want. Men fuck who they can.
This is true. But you're saying hookup culture is dying, but some girls are go, no, it's not. I can fuck who I want to fuck. Like, I don't
And
give a
there
fuck.
are hoes and
Yeah,
there
there
are
are
fuck
hoes.
boys. And they will never go away. And I'm not saying that they have to, but
Yeah.
I feel like if you're going to give dating advice and we're going to talk about it, like you need to be honest on what you want, guy and girl. Do you want to fuck? Do you want to date? Are you looking for a relationship? Are you looking for marriage? Okay, great. If we don't align, bye. That's where all the dating problem. It's like, come. If you're approaching someone, be like, hi. Like, just have a conversation. Talk
really
about
don't
fucking
even know how
strawberries
dating
in the
works,
grocery store.
to be
Like, you
honest.
know,
Yeah.
like, because you can find out whether you're kind of interested in someone in about like 3 minutes. I'm big on quirks. If you do something weird and like, I gotta go. Bye. You know, and people are like that. So
So I think with you're right with the whole communication, because I'm not gonna lie, there's a guy right now in a conversation with a girl, and the girl's like, "What are you looking for?" And the guy's like, "I'm just looking for the right one, and maybe I can hopefully find it." And he's lying.
and that right there
Yes,
is
he's lying.
the problem.
And he's lying. Also, there's I'll say this too. I think a lot of times guys are a bit more cowardly because they know if they say, "Yo, I'm just trying to blow your back out, get some food after, maybe there's some down the line," but I don't have the answer for you right now. Like,
Let me
they're
tell you what,
scared.
that does work though.
Oh, okay. That does work.
I
love
had a
food.
lovely
love
gentleman right before I met my husband and I was going on through my roster, and that was our arrangement. And
wow.
let me tell you what, anyone is single and looking for a great hookup buddy, 10 out of 10 recommend. And I don't mind sharing now that I'm like married. It doesn't really bother me, but it was great. He was very honest. And we met
love
on Hinge and I was in a very low spot. Was not feeling very confident. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm just going to have a hookup buddy and I don't have to try with him and it's going to be whatever. He cooked me dinner. We fucked and that was our thing once a week.
Once a week.
And honestly, it was
like
great because we were so open about where we were. And we both knew that we wouldn't last in a relationship, but we had a really good like sexual chemistry and connection. And so he knew after, like he even texted me, he was like, how did your date go? Like because we were very open about where we were with people. And then after I met my husband, I was like, hey, I think this is going somewhere. And he was like, no problem. Completely understand. We cut it off.
So
And it was
cute.
great. And I ran into him a couple months ago and he was like, congratulations. Like I saw on Instagram, like blah, blah, blah,
We need
blah.
more men like that.
And so, but that was all comes back to communication.
Yeah.
He said exactly what he wanted. I agreed to the terms and neither of us tried to change them. I never fell for him anymore. Not that I would have, no offense. But like, you know, I knew we would not be partners,
Do you think
but
that,
he was a great friend.
so I saw a video that made me kind of confirm what I'm about to say, where a girl was like, it's kind of word salad, but the best to say it. It was basically saying, I wanted that. Oh, fuck. Basically what it was saying was this: when a guy is like, let's just be friends, or like, let's just have sex, she may want that too, but the fact that he said it first, it's like, well, I don't want it now because like you said it first. Like I want to fuck with
That's
that.
an ego thing. That's very
Yeah.
It's like I want to fuck too, but the fact that you're saying let's
Like,
just
if you
fuck
both
makes me
want
feel like I'm
that,
being used.
then
But I
that's
want to
like,
fuck,
okay.
but don't say it like that. It's like they want you to say it, but not directly. Like I'm just trying to have sex. That makes a lot of girls feel like shit.
And that's back to my point from a
Yeah.
couple minutes ago, communication. Like
Yeah.
I won't say his name, but I
Josh.
told him, I was like, I just need a really good fuck. I think
Oh,
that's
wow.
literally exactly what I said. Boy, he delivered. He did
Boy,
deliver.
did he
It was
deliver.
great.
I'm not gonna lie. If I was driving
And
and,
we
I see
had-
the messages, like I seen a good fuck. I'm like, wow.
But like because of that communication, I will say that it did lead to a good friendship. Like I ended up like canceling a date with someone. He was like, he texted me like not on our day, and then he was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I just canceled this date, but I'm kind of hungry." He's like, "Let's go get some food." And we did. We went and got food. Now I will say he did end up wanting a little bit more, but he also was very like, he knew what it was. He didn't try.
Okay.
But I do know, like, when I told him I met my husband, he was like, "Oh, I should have tried." I'm like, "Nope," because it wouldn't have worked. He's like, "You know what? You're right. It wouldn't have worked."
do you see my point though? With like, if men are too blunt and forward, it can turn women off, even if they want the same
No.
thing.
Well, then but if all they want to do
I
is
don't
fuck
see your
and they don't
point.
want a headache, and the girl is like not down for that, then that probably was gonna lead to a bigger headache down the road when you like cut it off with her, and she'll
Yeah.
act crazy and be like,
No, I think
"What?"
please tell me what you want. And if like you just want to fuck, and then if the girl's gonna get mad about that, like it's either she wants more or it's just like an ego thing.
Yeah, she doesn't want to feel used. No one wants to feel used. You know what's crazy too?
I will.
Here's the thing about guys too. That I swear to God, it happened to me once, and I understand that like the woman for like a good second in that moment, where like I was like, yeah, you never know, things could get serious between us. I said it kind of facetiously, but she's like, no, it wouldn't. This is just fun. I'm like,
So
like,
you got used.
Yeah, so it's like,
But there are
I said it.
also
Uno
people
reverse.
I know. I know a couple that got married about a year ago, and they started off as fuck buddies and then they just like and they're like, "Nope, we're just friends." Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Nope.
I think you have
And
to
then
be
they-
friends first
Yeah.
to like even establish
Or
anything.
friends and take it slow, or you just like emotional dump.
gotcha.
Like trauma bond or emotional
No,
dump?
like so when my husband and I met on our first date, we laid every card out on the table.
Oh.
Like everything.
But that's just being like,
So,
this
like-
is what I want. This happened. And I'm like this. This
Yeah.
is me.
We like because we
You
both
like
had
it?
we both had a crazy ex story, and we both shared it. And then I was like, "This is exactly what I want. You know, this is where I'm at." Blah 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 blah. I was like, "This is my roster."
Oh wow.
He was like,
Yeah.
and like my
That's just like honest.
Josh,
Yeah.
he
Josh.
had a Jillian.
Okay. Yeah.
Like it was the same. And you know what? That saved it. And so before we ever fucked, Josh and Jillian were cut off, and there was no concern. I wasn't wondering, oh, when was the last time you slept with someone? I told him and he told me. And it was that you can do that, or you can just start as friends. I
Gotcha.
think that's the only two way to go. You can't play this whole like guessing game. I feel like that gets toxic. Like, is he
Yeah.
talking to other girls? Is she
No,
fucking
yeah.
another guy? Like, just
talk.
Yeah.
talk or be open to the idea that they're doing it.
The next topic I want to talk about: what is more shameful, a younger woman seeking out an older man, or an older man seeking out a younger woman. Now,
Why is it shameful?
I'll give you the first, like the parameters, because I know it can be like it needs more context. Let's say 35 to 25, 10-year age gap.
That's not bad.
No?
bad.
10 years
I'll
isn't
push
bad.
I'll push it. Okay. Let's go 40 to 21.
She can drink.
I think it's weird when an older man consistently only goes after younger women,
And cook. Break it down as to why.
because I've heard a lot of men talk,
Yep, true.
especially like working at a bar and like what they like, and it's really gross to me when people say I prefer a younger woman because she's untouched.
Oh, I see.
And I see that that's whether they say it exactly like that, which I've heard many times, or not. It just seems a little pedophile-y to me when they want the super young looking girl.
So just make sure 40-year-old, 21-year-old, and the 40-year-old legit comes out of his mouth. I like 21-year-olds because they've been less touched.
Yes.
And
And,
that-
I've
and
heard
that's-
multiple
I think
men
it's
say it
weird
like
in that sense.
I've heard multiple men
Yes.
say it like that, and I'm just disgusted.
Okay, so would you be disgusted if it was the inverse, where I like 21-year-olds because they have a lot of bodies? Would that be still disgusting, or that's better?
I think it doesn't matter.
I feel like it's not as bad for me. It's like
Like
from
if-
how it has come across to me, it's like, you know, I can train her, and I'm gonna.
Oh.
It's almost like grooming, and I've heard it from so many men that are like older that it's just weird to me.
Got you. So if a guy were to say I like girls who have a lot of partners, it wouldn't be as bad.
Right. It almost sounds like grooming to me when they say like untouched.
Okay. So I think when they say untouched, I'm assuming they mean low body count. Is that what you're saying?
Low body count.
Yeah.
They like a baby face.
Virgin.
They like them, or they're like, there was this guy at the bar, and he was like, yeah, my girlfriend's young. I love that she's so close to my daughter's age.
That's
That was
that's
fucking
weird.
weird.
Yeah, I
no,
think
something similar happened to me like that, and then like literally the dude was like, I don't even know if I should say this, but he was like, you feel like you have an underaged pussy,
Mhm.
and I was like, excuse me,
I'm grown.
I am very much grown. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I feel like there's also like a facade with like her pussy's tighter. It doesn't change.
It doesn't. Yeah. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't. That's a complete myth.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
I think now I'll say this. Do you think that when men like women who've been in less relationships, I think a lot of times men correlate more relationships equals more trauma, more baggage.
Yeah, I think Andrew Tate
Maybe.
said that too.
Okay. Now,
And-
do you agree with that or disagree with that?
I agree.
Okay.
I feel like it's been harder to date me as the years have gone on because
Okay.
but well,
Hold on.
wait a second. I have a lot more trauma, but I've also learned a lot more, so I'm not as susceptible
It,
to
cancels out.
all the tricks.
Yeah.
And I,
feel
think
like
that
I'm
might be a
better
problem too.
today now. Like I don't fall for shit, but also like I have more to provide just as a person, I feel like.
Yeah. And I feel like when my last round dating, it was people would get so mad when I would cut them off, and I'm like, no, I'm not putting up with it.
Oh, I'll ghost.
You know?
So
yeah,
fast.
I believe in ghosting.
I will
So,
ghost so
Let's
fast.
just say a guy's 40 years old and he's looking for a partner. And I think around 35 girls. Damn, okay. Damn, it's right here. I was to say, so I know when girls get in like that 35 zone, don't they start to go through what's called menopause, where like their eggs start to
It
go
is
down?
called
It's like 50.
menopause.
It's like 50?
It's like 50.
50 years old? Hold on. I'm actually-
35
I'm gonna
women
Google
are
it.
having babies at 35.
What?
Menopause is when your body kind of is like, okay, we're not going to produce a child anymore. So you quit
Yeah.
getting your
I think it
period.
varies from like
Woman
woman
to
to
woman.
woman. But it's usually like 40 or 50, I think.
Got you. So it says here, at age 37, it goes down like basically, okay, starts off with 2 million eggs at birth and by 37 it's at 25,000, and at 50, what you guys are saying, it's at 1,000. Like it's getting really down to your last remnants of eggs.
Yeah, so
That's
it's which is very interesting, and I've had this conversation with my husband too, because he's like, we should wait till we're like 35 to have kids, and I'm like, absolutely not. I will have no eggs left.
It gets
Like,
harder.
It's harder. So that's why, because I'm 26 now, I want to do IVF at 27, because at 27 is when my eggs start to go. And I'm like, well, I'll have a couple million left at 27.
Yeah.
We'll just freeze a bunch of them. They'll be in pristine 27-year-old condition. And that way, if we do have kids like later on, it'll be like a 35-year-old body, but 27-year-old eggs.
Okay.
Very
So-
vibrant.
So if a guy, I think my point was, if a guy is 40 years old, dating a girl who's also 40, I think he may run into issues with fertility. So maybe that's why he wants to date a girl.
Guys?
If a guy's 40 years old and he say he dates a girl who's also 40 years old and he wants to have a family, right?
Oh.
Do you think he could run into fertility issues with the
You
older woman?
could, but it is
Yeah.
possible to have a child. You're just going to have to pay more. You're going to have to do what I'm going to do, which is IVF. You're going to have to pay for that. That's
Yeah.
not cheap. Or a
You're more
surrogate.
likely to do like complications with the
So
pregnancy too.
so I think most guys, when they hear complications, more money, like, hey, screw it, I'll just get a girl who's
Well,
younger.
then
and
they
hotter.
should have impregnated a bitch 10 years ago.
Well, what if his bag wasn't right 10 years ago to afford to?
That's
You're
true.
not. Yeah.
I think if you're not coming from like the pedophile standpoint, like if I was 40, 50 years old and rich, I would totally want the 25-year-old. You know what I mean? Like girls live longer, like, and girls are more mature at like a younger age compared to guys. I think, at least. So then, like,
That's what I've
why?
heard. That's what I've heard.
As long as it's not like if she's mature and sure she's in her 20s, like, and I have money and I can provide for her and like we get along great, why not?
I just I also I think there's also an underlying of jealousy, I think, as well. It's not like the whole pie chart, but there is some girls who are in their 30s like, damn, like I'm being out competed with. You guys feel like that's the case with some girls, or it's all just pedophilia with the whole older thing?
I like
I'd
to think
say
it's not
mostly pedophilia, but
all.
not all.
Like 80%?
I don't want to think it's
90%?
all pedophilia.
75.
75,
I'll
more
be-
than half.
I'll be nice and say 75.
What do you really want to say? You said you're being nice. I want you to be
90.
nice. 90? So 9 times out of 10.
But
like,
that's based off
Damn.
my own personal experience from what I've seen.
Yeah.
okay.
There could be a whole crop of good men out there. I haven't seen you.
Where are you at?
Gotcha. So do you think men wanting younger women has anything to do with biology, or it's all pedophilia?
This
Biology.
is like diamonds are a girl's best friend right here.
Yeah.
No, I think it does be like it, because when you get older and you're like with someone and you're like, wow, look at that shiny young toy. Wouldn't that be nice? That's why a lot of men cheat when they're like 10 years into a marriage, because they're like, oh, she's so young.
Yeah.
Wow, my wife doesn't look like that anymore.
You think
Hey,
it's all
that's-
looks? Because I would think if they had that connection of open communication and like really have that deeper level connection, he wouldn't care about just someone's looks.
Men are very.
But
No?
but men
Well,
are
fuck.
but men are predators and they like to chase. And I think that's why, like, I mean, I have a very open communication with my husband about stuff. He won't cheat behind my back, but if I tell him if he's getting like annoying and I'm like, do you need to go hire someone for an hour and let off some steam? Go. I don't have a problem with that.
Got you. Yeah. So to me, I think a lot of times, you know, in my opinion, with biology for women, they tend to like a guy, resources, you know, confident, life experience, and I think a lot of times they don't get judged for that. I feel like that's just I'm a girl. I want a guy who makes more money. Well, I think you do, but here's the thing: it usually comes from guys that are insecure about it. So, for example, if I'm rich and girls like rich guys, I'm like, more for me. If I'm broke, I'm like, what I like rich guys for? Like he can't buy your. You know, I think it comes from insecurity a lot of times when guys shame women for wanting a top guy. It's how I
Yeah,
think.
because they don't have it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They still have it. So when girls
valid.
in their mid 30s go, oh, why you want these 21-year-olds? Like, I'm hot too. It's like, they're more attractive than you are, lady. I'm sorry. You know, so I think it kind of goes both ways, but I think one
I'm gonna
gets
be a
one
MILF.
I think the men get shamed more than the women though, in my opinion, for that topic.
I also feel like women get a little lazy, and I also feel like men are not as patient.
What do you mean?
So, for example, say I'm 35 and we have 2 kids now. Okay? I'm tired. Like, kids are a lot of work.
They are.
And if you as a man and a partner and a dad are not stepping up to be like, "You know what? I'm going to take the kids this afternoon. You go do whatever you want for 4 hours." For 4 hours. Go do what you want. Or like prioritizing like schedules and stuff. So I know a couple couples that like the husband gets up first and he like checks on the baby, and while the wife is like at the gym, and then they switch when she gets home, so they both get their like 1 hour of like me time. A lot of like dads, I feel like, just get up, go to work, and feel this huge pressure to provide, and then the woman is spent all day taking care of the children and maybe working as well, and the dad's like, but I'm being a dad, I'm disciplining, I'm parenting. And it's like, it's a little bit more than that. It's never going to be 50-50 with the work, but you need to make sure that like you're relieving your partner so they can have their own like mental health and be able to go work out or go get Botox or, you know, whatever they want to do, get their nails done.
Yeah, I think that's definitely lacking with men.
Yeah, and I feel like women put a lot of the stuff that like getting their hair done, getting their nails done, going to the gym, doing stuff for themselves, they put that on the back burner because they have taken the complete role of being a mother.
Absolutely. Now, I think just back to the whole like, pedophilia thing. I think there are some guys, a lot of guys out there, and that's what their motive is. Like, oh, a younger, like whatever they think of. I don't have a pedophile brain. I couldn't tell you. But I did look up the research. Most marriages said it's like the average is like 2.6 years. So most of the time it
used to be 7.
yeah, exactly. And it makes sense because women couldn't work. Like they couldn't work at all. So they needed a guy who's been through the corporate ladder, who has, who's way older than them. Now girls are going to school more than men are, and they're making just as much or even more money in some cities. So I think, so it's funny when we have this conversation, it's not as common as we think it is. Yeah, we see Leonardo DiCaprio as some 25-year-old Ukrainian supermodel, but that's not most guys.
But I also feel like you take away who he is.
Yeah.
If he was just like Joe Schmo off
Yeah.
the street and he's only dated 25-year-olds, like that's his thing. And that's and I
just
think
Joe.
and I feel like he doesn't really like from what I've read. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously I don't know the guy, but
True.
like I feel like it's kind of obvious that that's his thing and his type. So he's probably not lying, being like, I'm going to marry you to all of these women.
No.
He's probably being honest.
Are you saying okay, I'm arguing that Brad Pitt wouldn't be able to pull this off if he didn't have status and fame. If he's just like a barista at Starbucks, I don't think he can pull that off. Or do you think
I
he
don't
could?
find him attractive.
Okay.
Wait, Leonardo or Brad Pitt?
My bad.
Either one.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
I mean, Leonardo used to be attractive back when he was like
Yeah.
21, but like I've never really been a Brad Pitt fan. I've been an Angelina Jolie fan.
Yeah, I think I
Oh,
got
yeah.
the celebrities mixed up. I think we're talking about Leonardo DiCaprio.
He was hot,
He-
not
Yeah,
anymore.
he
But he's
used to be
old now. He's
True.
like 60, right?
But I do believe he is dating like
No.
22.
No,
He
does.
is. He doesn't date them
Yeah.
past 25, and it's a big joke, but it's true. Like that's his type. I also don't ever think, given his history, he's ever going to be the type of guy to settle down and marry someone.
Mm-hmm.
And he's probably super honest about it.
Now, do you think he could pull this off with no money and fame, or I think money and fame is the biggest reason why he's able to pull this off?
Money and fame.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because girls
Like,
want to fuck Leonardo DiCaprio. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I agree. Like
Watching
most-
him in Titanic, like
Ooh.
I want to.
Yeah, so it's
Oh.
like I truly believe most of the time when guys are 40 with like a 21-year-old, it's usually a transactional, temporary relationship for a year or two.
Yeah.
it's
Like,
rare.
case in point,
Yeah.
sugar babies.
Yeah.
Sugar daddies.
how it
Most
goes.
of them are married. Most of the guys are old. And most of the girls are really young because that's what they want. They don't want their wife that's at home, that they have a history with and a relationship with. They want the young, pretty thing. And they'll pay to get it.
They will. They will. Hopefully that's not me. Now, piggybacking off of that, do you think people, not just men, not just women, or not just men, just people, should be judged for their marketing online? So their Instagram, their Facebook page, etc. What they put out there, should that be judged, or we shouldn't judge a book by its cover?
I think it's going to be judged regardless, but you get judged in every aspect, whether it's your
Yeah.
job, whether it's a future partner, whether it's your in-laws,
I
your
judge
own
myself.
family. Yeah, I do too.
So.
I think my Instagram is trash.
Same.
Emma, my social media, she'll tell you it's
gotten
wonderful.
better, but like if you go through my archive on Instagram,
my
I'm
archive's a little
like,
rough.
oh, it's rough.
So when you guys say trash and rough, are you guys talking about how, like, okay, I think what I was trying to reference to is like, if some girls have said on podcasts or interviews, like, oh, like, just because I'm dressed this way on Instagram doesn't mean X.
Yeah, no, and I agree. We talked about that with
Yeah.
she was sitting right here. And
Yeah.
I really liked her. It's true because if you look at my Instagram, like, and if you were to hand it to 10 people in my hometown, they'd be like, that girl's a goddamn whore. She needs Jesus. Because it's lingerie and bikini. I have one picture up and it's like hidden with me and my husband. I'm not really big about posting us on social media. I've never have been.
Gotcha.
And they would be like, oh, this is bad. This is gross. And when I was dating, people would judge my Instagram as well. And they would think that I was like super easy or I would sleep with them because I posted lingerie photos. And they were very sadly mistaken when they would try. And I'd be like, nope.
Yeah. I don't think you should judge a book by its cover, but like I do. And like a lot
Oh,
of people
I do too.
I do.
I do.
And a lot of people
Yeah.
do. I judge myself by its cover.
I'm a lot better at it, but I do, I everybody
I
had
feel like you can't
looks.
help it.
But you
sometimes.
you get a preconceived notion.
Yeah, definitely.
But I still try to go in with an open mind.
Me too.
And then
yeah.
if I'm proved right, I'm like, well, yep.
It's like I have this notion, but also I'm gonna like
Give it
if
a
I
chance.
meet you, I'm still gonna give you a chance as a person.
Yeah.
I think-
Perfect example is we can say her name, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Is Emma. Because she was working with me and I had her Instagram, but I hadn't met her for months. And to be honest with you, I don't know why, but I totally thought she was a bitch. I really did. And then when I met her, I was like, this bitch is the nicest human I've ever met in my life. And I was completely proved wrong. But that's just like her Instagram. She's very confident, da da da. And I was like, oh, and that was like a wrongful like judge. I'm very glad I was wrong about that.
Yeah, I think
She's very nice.
here's the thing. I post very fuckboy, gaudy captions.
You do. I
right?
looked at your
Really? I never
Instagram.
read your
Let me
captions.
tell you what. For someone giving dating advice, I need to help you.
Gotcha.
It's-
Got you.
No,
I,
sir.
How I perceive myself,
Can I go scroll right now?
Please do.
Really?
Move the mic so that it's in front of you. Because you're in front of the mic, so you're talking behind you.
Wait.
As far as how it's picking you up.
Got you. So I understand how I market myself, and if that's how people perceive me, I have to take that. Right? I can't be like, oh, well, just because. No, if what you put out is what people are going to perceive of you, and it's up to you, I guess, when they meet you in person, how you can maybe change their mind.
Yeah,
But-
you're completely different than your Instagram.
I really
Yeah.
want to go read your Instagram.
Yeah,
right
so
now.
it's just like I always boggles my brain when girls are like, just because, like, well, yeah, if you dress this way, I'm gonna perceive you a certain way, and it's up to you to change my mind. But it's like if you have this type of stuff on your page, I'm gonna assume probably things about you, like you mentioned. Maybe she's easy, maybe she's a hoe, maybe she's a sugar baby. Because why are you in Mykonos, then Ibiza, and then you're here, and every picture's alone. Like guys are gonna start putting
Because
two
I'm
together.
rich, bitch, and I
Yeah.
can take myself.
But I think most of the time guys go, oh, sugar baby. They just throw that out there.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that our brain just goes there. But I think here in LA, we meet a lot of girls who don't really work. And there's somehow this balling out of control.
Yes, but no. These girls do work. It's just not the standard of work that the rest of the world is doing.
Got you.
But the sugar babying is work.
It's work.
Stripping is work. It's not the normal type of work. And they make a lot more money than normal women do across the United States. But they still working.
They're working. But also I think from, being around this industry for a little bit is my perceived notion, say 2 years ago, if you're a stripper or if you're an OnlyFans girl, it's going to be damn near impossible. But now I've met
Wait,
more people.
what's impossible?
Finding a partner. But then I really do, I believe like attracts like. So there are guys out there who have no problems with, doing what you do. But here's the problem. I've talked to Braylon and talked to yourself as well. They end up resenting you. It starts off, oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
And then they end up getting mad
I
at you
think
down
it
the line.
really depends.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's impossible to find a partner, but it's like, is that what I want?
Well, I was
You know what I
talking about
mean?
Braylon, how like she was in a relationship with a guy, pushed her to do porn, and then he got mad at her for doing porn when he pushed her to do it.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, like,
I
that
was
was
like, this
stupid.
bitch sounds insecure.
Yeah, he does.
I was like, what kind of man is going to be like,
Don't
yeah, babe, do
do
it.
it.
And then be like, no, don't do it. I'm like, get it together.
Yeah, pick
Yeah.
pick a
Yeah.
side. So it's just tougher,
I
but
think there is a lot of conflicting things that are almost like, what's it called? Like, I don't know. It's like you think it'll be okay, and then once it happens, it's
They
like,
can't handle it.
actually, I can't handle this.
yeah, it's happened to you. It's happened to Braylon.
Yeah.
It's happened to you before, where a guy tried to
it
be a
seems fun
savior,
at
no
first.
more bottle service, no, I ever try to come in.
I mean, I've had a lot of insecure exes that asked me to delete the Instagram, and so instead I just deleted them from my life. But
Yeah.
it's really, I would say honestly, it's more weird having a husband that supports me because it's like for a long time I was waiting for the shoe to drop, and
What's that
like
mean? Shoot a drop.
like for him not to be supportive anymore.
Oh,
But like
Oh.
literally, I think
No,
it
I
was
feel that.
2 days ago. He was like, "When are we need to shoot soon? Aren't you like running low on content?" He was like, "I have these
That's
ideas. We should do like."
really
He was like, "Let's do this in the shower, and then we could do this and angle it this." And he like sets the whole scene. He's like,
I love that.
because he's like, "I'm a dude," and he's like, and obviously
He's like, I'll tell you.
well, he's like,
what
"You're
would
my
look
wife, and if I
good."
wanted to watch
Give you
a
that
porn
male
video."
perspective.
He's like, "This is how I would want to watch you get fucked." So, and I'll
I
just
love
fuck you like
that.
that, and I'm like,
Okay.
I feel
Okay.
like sometimes, like, this is probably a me problem,
Yeah.
but like, sometimes in relationships, I feel like I'm just looking for the red flag, and if they don't have one, I'm like, is that a red flag?
Is that a
or am I the red flag?
So that's actually a great topic. Like, do you sometimes? I've heard some girls on TikTok do a story time where they were looking for red flags, and then when they didn't find them, they got bored with him, and bored
I'm
led
like,
to
where
ghost.
is it? It
Yeah.
gotta be somewhere.
Yes, I know that feeling.
Yep, like, I know about that one.
But I think it just depends on like where you're at. Like if you're dating someone and you get bored, and you've been like, and you're like in a relationship, not just like, what's it like dating, then it's different. But if you're like dating and just like getting to know each other and you're getting bored, yeah, I'd move on. But like for me, like my husband and I, we went through a little low spell because like he was like, we don't do anything. And I'm like, well, yeah, I work, you work, and whatever. And we had to work through that. But we wouldn't have worked through that if we were just like talking.
Yeah.
And it helps.
Well, to kind of push it a bit further, I think what I meant, what the girl meant by bored, he wasn't triggering anxiety. They weren't arguing. Like she wanted emotional up and downs.
Well, is there any highs? It
Well-
doesn't have to be all lows.
Well, I think what she was talking about in the
well, the
video.
roller coaster is highs and lows. Like,
I
yeah,
think-
but
I-
so example for like my marriage, it was like high, and then we had like a little medium where we were just like stagnant, and then we went back high again. I'm sure we'll have a low because it's bound to happen eventually.
course.
yeah.
But it wasn't like high, low, high, low, high, low. It was
Yeah,
like
I think
a
that
year.
seems unhealthy. But like, I don't even know if it was out of boredom necessarily. I'm just like, there has to be something wrong with you,
And she couldn't find it.
and I
so she
couldn't
got-
find it. And I was
so did
like,
you ghost him?
No, not fully.
Explain not fully ghosting.
Like, there's hard ghosting. Well, sometimes I just accidentally ghost too.
Accidentally.
No,
okay.
because I'm just like busy and I'm just like, oh shit, a month went by. I'm sorry. Like, I genuinely didn't mean to do that. But then there's obviously intentionally ghosting. And then there's just like, I feel like there's like the halfway ghost where it's like you maybe talk once a week or something, or like once every couple weeks or something. It's like you're not trying to actively talk to them all the time.
So the guy with the red flags you could not find. It was a medium ghost, like a halfway.
What
I
happened
don't
to
think
him?
it's like
Yeah, it
a
happened to
full
him.
ghost. It's just I wanted my space for a second, you know?
Okay. Fair enough.
You needed space to go find excitement to see if he was
Excitement.
gone.
Is it?
I just like maybe I was bored. No, I don't think I was bored though. I think honestly, like I don't know what it was. Honestly, I'm still figuring that out.
Okay.
Are you still medium ghosting him?
Yes.
Give the good guy a chance.
No, I am. I feel like I just don't fully know what I want, so it's not his fault. But also, like, I loved how healthy it felt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But also, I'm like, it's not like, do I want healthy? But it's like, do I want, like, You know what I mean? Like sometimes I just want to figure shit out for myself and be alone.
It's not like I don't want healthy. It's just like, you know what I mean?
No, because I already feel like I have a healthy relationship with myself for
Okay.
the most part. Obviously, there's highs and lows too.
Yeah, of course.
But it's like, even though he's a great person, is that what I want for me? You know what I mean? Like it's like
Yes,
the first,
girl.
Yes.
You are gonna learn that. Yes, it's amazing.
just the first great person. Just go all
give
in.
him to give him a chance. Yes. Have you ever had a relationship where you don't worry about what they're doing or where they are or what they're up to or
No, because I don't even care.
So you
I don't
get
even
it.
care.
You just a healthy relationship when you.
I
finally
literally
get one
sometimes
is
I'll be like, "Are
amazing.
you cheating on me? You can just tell me. I won't be mad." And then they're like,
No.
and I'm like, "Just say it with some chest." Like, like I don't really care.
You're funny, Lily. I was thinking the first
Like
good guy
how
a
you were
chance.
saying, like you need to go release off some steam. It's like same energy. Just tell me. You know? No. But like I don't know. Maybe it's a little different.
I am receiving what you're saying, but no, I do not relate.
But like I don't know. Like sometimes I just can't give as much energy as some people want.
That's fair. I
No,
can
that
get
is
behind
fair. That is fair. And I feel like that is relationships though.
Yeah. So maybe
Like,
I'm just not ready for
I'm
relationships.
definitely right now the man in our relationship where I just don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just in that phase. But in a month, ask me again. But that's how
Yeah.
life goes.
No, I definitely changed a lot. I feel like I've been more the man lately where I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
really
like,
care.
Yeah, like what you want to, okay, that's fine. We can do
Please
that.
just do what you
I'm
want.
like, can I?
I'm here.
I'm obsessed with the Housewives right now. So like, you know how guys want to sit at home play video games? I want to sit at home and watch Housewives. That's what I want to do. I'm on Atlanta right now, season 10 reunion.
Okay. Now you mentioned I may have perceived that wrong. You're the man right now.
Yeah,
As in now,
like
as in
emotionally.
emotionally.
Yeah.
Okay,
So like
okay.
he, for example, and I feel like this is great for men too, like to know because I've never had a partner do this. Like he's like I need more from you emotionally to feel loved right now. He's like I understand because I'm going through a rut with like some girlfriends and whatever, and so a lot of my time. I like to sit with myself and I like to process. And I do that by
Me
escaping
too.
into
I like
TV,
to be alone a lot with,
journaling.
like,
yeah.
keeping busy in some other way other than
Exactly.
people.
And that's kind of how I process things because while I'm watching or journaling or whatever, I'll be able to kind of like just kind of have like internal dialogue to kind of figure out what the
Yeah.
problem is. And so for him, he's like, I'm like, well, what do you need from me right now? What can I do? Because I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, I need more physical touch.
Okay.
And he's like, I really want you to cook for me this week.
Laying
And
it
I
down.
want, and he's like, and I want to like do it with you. Cause a lot of times I'll just make him food and like whatever. And he's like, no, I want you to cook, but I want us to kind of do it together. Like how we used to do it before we got really busy. And so I put time aside because that's what he needed. Cause he kind of needs me to baby him right now. Cause I've kind of not really been there, which is fine. It's not necessarily a problem. It will be if I don't do anything. But like and I love that he asks for that. And I've been trying to teach my brother and my guy friends on how to do that with their partners, but they don't listen.
Lack of listening, man. That's good that you're stepping up though. That's good. Yeah,
Yeah,
you just did
because
it, you know?
sometimes you know what,
Good.
if your girlfriend or whatever wife isn't doing enough, tell her. But
Yeah.
he was very gentle. He's
no,
like,
it's good
he was like,
when
babe,
you
I
can,
love
like,
you.
Do that.
he was like, I just right now, I need a little bit more from you. I understand you're really busy. I understand you're going through a lot. He's like, but I miss when like we're in bed and you just kind of like rub my neck and you know, he loves his little head scratches.
Okay.
And I do give like really good body massages. He's like, you haven't done that in a while. I'm like, okay, well, let's do it right now.
feel
I
like
don't- did I
that's
wanna
also
do it?
Going
No,
back
but-
to the vulnerability thing
Mhm.
too, where it's like you can just express yourself and say what you want. Especially when you can come in from like a gentle attitude too and say like, hey, I don't really feel like I'm getting this right now.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then, you know what I mean?
It all comes back to communication.
Communication.
So one thing I want to,
It's like, can you tell us my theme?
I want to end it off on. I think it's gonna be a great conversation because I'm genuinely curious. So I get told a lot that I'm the caption king. I got so many cool captions.
Yeah,
And you said you went through it and you said
You think you're the caption king?
Absolutely.
Is that okay?
Absolutely.
But you disagree.
yeah, exactly right.
I can't wait to read these captions
yeah,
later.
trust me, you're me laughing. So-
Can I give you just a quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
To be honest, your Instagram is a little too try hard for me.
Okay.
And I don't mean that in like a disrespectful way.
Love
I
the
just
honesty.
because I've only really gotten to know you, like
Getting that
hearing
female
how you are.
perspective.
Absolutely.
And then I saw your Instagram. I was like, "Who the fuck is that guy?" Like, this is the
I know,
guy.
I saw you playing some
that's
country
dope.
music last night, and that was dope.
Thank you.
Yeah, like post that versus like the car pics and the like.
You know what?
Yeah, literally.
Got
I
you.
was like, that's not him at all. He's way like you are just
We
like
want
you
the
are very
vulnerability.
manly,
I don't know if that's what she's saying.
but you have a nicer side to you that I think would be way more attractive to women.
Got you. So for
That's cute.
got you. So for me,
Sorry.
I try to lead by example, and I'll explain what that means, right? So a lot of guys who I deal with, they take no photos or they take bathroom mirror selfies,
No.
right? So I
That's
try
a
to lead
no.
from the front by, for example, my most recent photo, I'm at Ace Hotel on the rooftop with a nice scenery, right? I tell guys when you go out to a place like that, try to get a picture, right?
And anyone will take a picture. Great example. I was working at one of my jobs and I work at a rooftop pool and this guy was like, "Hey, would you mind taking some pictures of me?"
Oh, wow.
And I was real like and he was so just like it was so smooth, and I was like very impressed that a guy by himself was like, "Can you take some pictures of me?" And then he stopped me. He's like, "Can you redo these from a different angle? I just look a little bit better." I was like, "Yes." I was impressed. Have a girl. That's a great conversation
I
starter.
feel like I'm usually, unless they're like in the industry and they're literally a photographer, if there's a guy that I'm talking to and I'm like, "Hey, can I take a picture, or can you take a picture of me?" I'm like, have to instruct them.
Yeah, but he instructed me, and I'm like, I'm the
Yeah.
influencer.
And I love that.
I was like, okay, honey.
Yeah, I do think you're right. Girls definitely will give you more effort. Guys, it's like, all right, bro, 1, 2, 3, pass it back. You know, the guys are
Yeah,
very basic.
get it. That's
Yeah.
a good convo.
Background
That's a
is,
good
like,
piece
not
of
what you
advice.
want.
Yeah, get a girl to take it.
Yeah, girls like, dude, you should see some of their camera rolls. It's just a bunch of different pictures.
19,000 pictures on my phone right now because I just cleaned it up from
Just cleaned it?
41,000.
This phone, but let me see.
41,000
I
pictures.
couldn't fall asleep last night. My husband left for Miami, so I
Okay,
was on
mine's
my
not
phone. So
bad.
I
I
decided to
have
go
10K.
through my phone and clean up.
41,000 pictures.
Well, I'm a model, and I do
Damn.
keep all of the raw images. And
That's
I have all
wild.
my 3 Facetune versions.
Three
and stuff. You know what
There's
I'm
different
saying?
versions of the photo. Okay, so let's go back to it. So like the point at hand. So the point at hand was for me, I try to lead from the front. What that means is when I go out, I like to take pictures of myself because when I show my clients, see, this is what I mean, guys. I was at a bar and I got a photo done. But the try hardness, is it come from the pose? It come from like the look? Wait, where's the try hardness? I'm just trying.
This
Let me look.
is not what your Instagram is.
Where's the thing? And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with perceiving an image out to the world that may
I'll
not be
give you my
true.
opinion.
And then when you meet me, it's like, oh, this is not what I was expecting. I actually like it that way. Actually,
Yeah.
I do.
I mean, and it was just like, just
I
because.
feel like I'm gonna be the mediator right now for
Let's
a second,
see.
and I can
pick any photo.
see
Pick any photo.
where she's coming from. But also, like, I don't really know what you're supposed to do as a guy to post, because like I want to follow hot girls. You know what I mean? So I don't really know what to say to improve it, but I can
as
also
long as there's not too
see
many like
where she's
shirtless
coming
pics,
from.
because if
There's
you
not
post,
shirtless pics.
if
I
you're
feel
a
like
guy
there's, like,
who
a
posts a
mix
lot of them,
between,
I just
like-
think you're insecure. If you're constantly posting,
How
your
about as a
abs.
fitness influencer?
That's different.
Okay,
but there was
okay,
this guy I was
okay.
talking to, and any excuse he could, he was like face tuning his abs. And I'm like,
Ooh, Facetune, and yeah, that's.
I was like,
that.
I
Save
know
that for
what
the
you're.
girls.
I was
Save
like,
that for
you
the
know
girls.
what
Okay,
your
there's a
stomach looks like.
caption. If she makes you put 2 and 2 together, she probably for the streets.
4, 2 and 2, 4. It's like a caption. It's pretty dope. You know,
Yeah, he was like, he's very proud. He's like,
because if you hear it out loud, it doesn't make any sense. If
Okay.
you read it,
Explain this one. They throw dirt on my name, but never had the will to rock a bitch.
okay, so that one that one. Okay, I'll explain. Because so Will Smith slapped
Oh.
Chris Rock. So I was thinking,
okay,
how
that's
can
actually
My
funny.
wife
Okay,
so
never mind.
out your fucking mouth. mouth.
No,
That's
that's
right.
funny. Okay, I didn't get it at first.
I got
that's
that.
funny.
So it's like
That's
I,
funny.
I was like
That
I was
one.
thinking because these captions they're organic. So like what is popping right now?
wanna go
I
through
can
more.
make something and come together. But yeah,
Okay, this one's kind of funny. Never needed ranch because I've been dressing.
That's an overused one, but
Is
it is
it?
cute.
I've
Yeah,
never
it is
heard that
overused.
one. I follow way too many girls, I think.
If you want help with Instagram captions, do you know where I go?
Drake lyrics.
Please tell me.
I was about to say.
Because I just usually do like an emoji.
Oh, TikTok.
There are girls that will their entire account
Is this captions?
is captions for certain things, and there's like 50 options.
Wow.
And then I will try
What are
it
those?
and look at it, and I have never had to think about a caption ever again. It takes me about a minute and a half.
No more Drake
I literally
lyrics.
usually ask my
I never was a
friends.
lyrics girl. If
Okay,
I'm
fair
doing
enough.
lyrics,
Oh, I'm a
it's
lyrics
gonna be
girl.
it's gonna be Taylor Swift.
I'm a
Okay.
lyrics girl,
Fine.
and it's
Fair
gonna
enough.
be rap lyrics.
I'm a
and then
Swiftie.
I'm like, should I do this?
Now I do R&B for like the music in like the background of my stories of like a new post. I will put some super sexual
Oh, wow.
shit on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Engagement, you know what I'm saying?
Engagement.
You gotta play the game.
Oh, 1000%. I think that's gonna get you way more engagement than something plain. It's
Tory Lanez,
oh yeah.
Ah, yeah.
the
Get
color
him a
violet.
studio.
Are we canceled for saying Tory Lanez? I don't think so.
I hope not.
Yeah,
I love his music.
Like, okay, he shot her, but like
Okay,
his
but, like,
music's
it's so
good.
good.
but that music.
I never really
but
wasn't
that
really.
music,
I'm not like
though.
a Meg Thee Stallion fan. I like some of her songs. So like I'm.
You can separate.
He's she's her, and that was
He
not
has
very
some
smart.
anthem
Yeah, true.
music.
But like the color
Literally
violet.
anthem.
That was,
The color violet.
you know
Yes.
that whole album.
No,
it's good.
real.
Is that?
I want to get him a studio.
Okay. Oh, you want to start
Let's
rapping?
go.
I
Not
think
for
he should
me.
drop an album in prison.
Yes. Please, we need
I
it.
think it'd be great.
I
That'd be a
need
banger.
it. I need
Color
it.
orange.
I love orange.
There we go.
It's the new
coming to you.
black.
So
But that's different.
I want to end on this note before we wrap it up. Do you guys think the patriarchy is all bad for women, or there's pros and cons?
Oh, there's pros for
Yeah.
sure.
So where's some pros? You said that with confidence. So where's some pros if a girl's like, the patriarchy's all bad, we need to demolish it? What would you say to her?
Well, for example, for me, if I don't want to work, I don't have to. My husband is doing great.
I love a man that will
and
provide,
if there's
but
a woman,
also
I
like,
love to work. But if I didn't have to and I had kids,
Yeah,
I wouldn't have to with him.
Sure.
And I don't. The feminism can keep the women's rights to have jobs for that.
You guys can keep working.
Because if I don't want to work, I don't have to. Now, would I support him if he, for some reason, lost every single one of his business and investments? Yes. Would I want to? No. It's not my job.
Just be
It's his.
honest.
He's a man. They always want to talk about how men are greater and this and that, and you're the
Yeah.
presidents and all whatever. Great. Go to work.
I feel like it's a balance because, like, I love working, but then also I love when a guy just wants
To
to
take care.
provide and take care of me. And it's like some type of balance. Like, if I want to work, I want to be able to. I don't want it to be like all men dominated.
Got you. Yeah, I think there's definitely benefits the patriarchy does give to women. Like, for example, a classic one is, let's say anything goes down, a ship or a plane or anything, it's women and children first, right? And you saw the Ukraine, right? No?
Yeah, I don't understand why
Yeah.
women are so upset about it because we literally get the best of both worlds with it. And they're still complaining about it.
They are. I do think
Like,
so.
do you know what I mean? Like, we, for once, are winning. And
Yeah.
they're still not fucking happy.
I think the feminism
Like-
movement
It's like,
likes
how
to
much
have
more do
something
you
to
want?
fight for.
Like,
It's
like,
like,
I'm-
only been
I'm
100
content.
years.
Are
like,
you
less
content?
than that. I'm
I'm-
super
I'm
content.
content.
I'm very content.
I'm good. I don't, if any,
I'm like, I can have an OnlyFans and not get burned.
Yeah,
Like,
true.
literally
at the stake.
at the stake.
Yeah, I think I'm quite
I'm
satisfied.
winning.
I can use my vagina to make cash, but you can't use your dick. That works too.
Yeah.
Well, he could.
I mean, they could,
But it's just not-
but
it's not-
we'll
it's not-
probably make more.
I agree. And also, I think, now, this is not factual 100%. I'm going to have to fact check this one. Wasn't paternity leave made by men? Wasn't that?
Really?
Yeah, like to give
didn't know
women
that.
like time off when they have kids. Like it was given, like those laws were put in place
By men. Yeah,
Right.
good
So
for
it's-
you. You
so
finally
it's-
did something right.
So I think there are
like-
some benefits of patriarchy, and also this is like a societal thing. Again, could be incorrect. I say if a woman is in public putting her hands on a man, like, oh, you dumbass, most people probably walk right by. But if
Like
whenever,
hitting?
like just say she's hitting on a
Being
man.
aggressive.
Yes.
But there is a flip side to that because this happened to my friend. His ex-girlfriend at the time was like being crazy. She was so fucked up and she hit him and the cops arrested him.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
wow.
And I was
That's what I'm
pissed and I
saying.
was standing there and I
Plot
had footage
twist.
and I was like,
Oh, no.
no.
Yeah.
And then they released it, but it was fucking stupid. I was like, no, she hit him and he stood there, couldn't do anything
He
back to
took
her
it.
because he can't.
Like
and
a
he
real
sat there
man.
and got his like ass handed to him.
Yeah.
Because what would, if he like had tried to stop her, Andy would have been any person would have been like, oh no. And so
Yeah.
he couldn't.
I agree. I think a lot of times with society too, like you just mentioned, like even if a woman's an aggressor, the cops would go, okay, he probably deserved it, and just go get the
Yeah,
man
he must
for
have done something.
He must have done something. You know, I do think that's in place. Also for patriarchy, I'm trying to think of some other things. Also, okay, I feel like nowadays with affirmative action, if a woman were to apply to a more male-dominated space, I think she would be prioritized over men because they're trying to give women more representation,
diversity?
I think there's definitely a push for that. Now, do you see yourself ever like, let's say in a different life, becoming like a lawyer or a doctor and competing with men, or that's something you would never want to
No.
I don't need to. I'm already ahead.
do? Okay, yeah.
I can argue with anyone. I don't need a law degree to do it. Like, I really don't.
Got you. Yeah, I feel like
I
I
put
put
men in
recently
their
discovering
place
that I love
all
to
the time.
argue.
The last thing they need is for me to go to school for what, like 8 years
Yeah.
and get even better at it?
to get better at it.
I'm good.
I'm already good.
I'm
Got
good.
you. Is there any closing thoughts before we end the show?
Hold on, real quick, just so that the listeners know, it was definitely feminists who created maternity leave.
Oh, good
Feminism?
to know.
Oh.
They fought for it.
But I'll say this though: they fought for it, but a man had to approve it to put it into
You
place.
think?
How laws work, yeah.
True.
But also, that
All
doesn't make it sound better. You're saying like we should be thankful that men gave us rest. Who gave?
Thank you. I just
Who
stuffed
gave
a
the
human
men
out.
paternity leave or whatever it is? Because there's now like leave for like men too when their wife has a baby. And I don't. Last time I checked, y'all
Seahorses.
didn't birth a child.
Nope.
You just sat there and were
child.
like, ew.
It is pretty crazy. And that,
Ew.
That's
Any,
why we're better.
any closing thoughts before we end the show, ladies?
Men, do not be afraid to approach women. You can't get worse. You can
True.
only get better.
It can, yeah, unless you try.
Yeah, it's funny. Whenever I talk about approaching on TikTok or YouTube, guys, legit, I'm not even kidding. I have screenshots on my phone. Not worth a sexual harassment court case. Not worth the rejection. It's like very pessimistic, and they don't have a very positive outlook on it. Because they say they did it one time this year, got rejected. Now they carry that burden.
You're gonna
the
get
rest of the year.
rejected a lot.
A lot.
We actually, let's talk about this next week because I used to ask my old people that I was dating that I had met on Hinge, like what it was like out there, and I'll give you a lowdown on what they said because it's very
Absolutely.
eye opening. But don't be afraid. Go after what you want.
I do. I 1000% agree. Well, you guys have a great day, and we're talking.
Approach it.
Approach. Peace.
Watch how you
Communicate.
approach it.
Absolutely.